Hello everyone, welcome to today's stream. It is the 13th of the 5th. What day are we on? Monday. Coda's going crazy already. Good start. God, I've been busy. Have you guys been busy? It's been insane this week. As soon as the sun shows its face, it's like everyone gets in touch all at once. I've barely been in the Discord this week. I've been on the tools, and the rest of the time I've just been catching up with admin. Just constant texts, emails, Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp, Instagram, phone calls. They're coming in from all angles, and it's been just so difficult to stay on top of. I find myself, I'm doing a job, like I'm catching up on the evening, and then I go to work the next morning, and then by about midday I look at my phone and I've got like 4 or 5 new inquiries, and so that afternoon is then spent trying to get back to people and stuff. It's just, it's non-stop at the minute. Tracy, welcome, how you doing? Wash fix. Evening. Richard's joining me today. He's just said, how do I join? Squeegee Dave, welcome. Curbside cleaning, how you doing, mate? Have you been busy? I don't know how. If you've been like if you've had an influx like I have, but you're also offering all those additional services, like the carpet cleaning and the window cleaning and all that sort of stuff. I don't know how you're managing. It's crazy. Evening Dusty, welcome. You're exhausted. Oh no. The measure is insane. The Moja. Mike from Washfix bought himself a Moja the other day. Are you happy with it? Let's see if Rich is about. Where is he? Where is he? Currently, Curbside Cleaning says, currently I get up at 5 AM to fit everything in the day. Oh no. You think it saves time? Awesome. I'm glad you're pleased with it. Hooper, welcome. Hi Jake. I'm in early, not in the final minute like last week. TJ still beat me though. You wake up at 6. I've been waking up at like 5:45 most mornings recently. Saying that, I've been taking like CBD oil last couple of days, and I've been having the best sleep. I had the best sleep ever last night, and I didn't want to wake up this morning. I'm pretty tired as it is, and combined with that, yeah, you love mornings. I mean, it's apparently it's the most productive part of the day for most people. It's like between like 6 and 9 AM. Just trying to get Rich in. Where is he? I don't see him. I don't see him. Has he changed his name? Sorry about this, guys. Has he changed his name? Oh, you do all your videos in the morning. Your videos are doing really well, Curbside. Has anyone watched my video tonight? Hooper has, he's commented on it. Hayden, welcome. I've got my first driveway to do tomorrow. Just got to say, big inspiration and so much good information you have provided. Oh, thanks so much. Thank you, mate. Trying to join the Discord. Oh. Let me see. That's weird. I wonder if you've been kicked from the Discord automatically. Let me invite you again. Do do do. Do do do. Do 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 do. Maybe I didn't make you a VIP, so you've been kicked. Kicked to the curb. You had to stop the video. Don't do too much when you're older, you'll burn out. Yeah, I mean, I am trying to take this opportunity. Like, this is peak season at the minute. This is when everyone's getting in touch, so I'm trying to take the opportunity to I might have to call him. Sophie's bought me loads of goodies this afternoon. She's got me some beers, some coffee, some sweets, a new jumper, and an orange air freshener for my van. Absolutely splashed out on me. You're right, mate. You're struggling. I can't even see you in the server. You're actually... Are you in Discord at the minute? Oh, right. Can you see General at the top left? The voice channel. Above General Chat. So, yeah. There he is. Yeah, no worries. Got there in the end, didn't we? We got there in the end. Evening, Brad. How you doing? Chris, welcome. You're on holiday in Cyprus. Just about to watch the vid, saw you come on the live. Here he is. Here he is. Can you hear me? I might have to change my settings. Hang on.
Me.
Oh, 2 secs. So sorry. That one, and then earphones. Can you hear me? Test, test, test. Oh God. Technical issues. Rich, can you hear me? We might have to come back in a minute. Thank you so much.
Have you got the sound on?
Let me text him. Look at that. We might have to come back in a minute. I'm excited for this. Thank you so much.
Have you got the sound on?
Do 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 do. Can you look in your voice settings and check your speaker and mic are correct? Thank you. Look at all these beers she's bought me. Look at this. So we're going to go beer and coffee tonight.
Yeah, but I was saying one or the other, not both of them.
No, we're going both. Thank you.
You're welcome.
We'll get him in a minute, don't worry. We'll get him. Lolo Motorshed. Is that right? Hi, Smell. I was on a few weeks ago, but couldn't be here last couple of weeks. Good to be here now. Yeah, welcome. Welcome to the stream. Liam, welcome. Sunburnt today. Yeah, a lot of people have been sunburnt these last couple of days. You bought a storage unit? No way. I think that's potentially my next move, I think. Carry on cleaning. Welcome. Um,
Can you try that?
the coffee.
Yeah, I want to know what it is.
Have you not had one yet?
I've made myself one, but it's out set.
Can you hear me, Rich? Test, test, test. Rich? Hello, hello. This isn't working. Have I muted myself? I think it's me. Hang on. What's going on here? Quit that. Come back in. Sound settings. Sorry about this, everyone. Let's just try that. Can you hear me now, Rich? I know what it is. I know what it is. I've got a push to talk thing on. I know what it is. There it is. Voice activity. Is that better?
There we go.
Oh my gosh. Sorry about that, mate.
No problem.
I am useless.
On speak.
I had
Fairly quiet.
I had a weird push to talk thing where you've got to press a button to actually talk, and I forgot I had it on my the last time I was on.
No problem. I can hear you, but it's not very loud coming
Okay.
through my phone. So
You might be able to tap on me and like increase my volume. If you tap on my little square, you can slide the volume up a little bit. Have you used a dosatron, Jake? No, I haven't. No. Have you? Worst weather in weeks in the southwest today. Oh my god.
Was it nice?
We've had some storms. Yeah, it was nice. Yeah.
Try
Thank
that.
I'm going to try and pop my headphones on, see if that's any better. I'm not sure if my phone's playing up a bit with the volume.
Yeah, no worries, mate. All good.
Well, that's sweet.
Take your time. What's your opinion on applying sealer with a roller? As I watched your stream with PWS and I managed to get a block paving with sand and sealer job. Nice, well done. I wouldn't be sealing block paving with a roller personally. In my experience, the couple of times that I did it, when you've got like a wet roller and you're dragging it over the blocks, it picks up the sand onto the top of the roller, and you end up smearing sand all over the face of the blocks. I think you're much better with a sprayer. And always carry a leaf blower with you as well. So if you end up spraying it and it pulls in certain areas between the joints and stuff, you want to blow it off with a leaf blower to stop it pulling. Applied the sealer with the roller. Not sure if I'm 100% happy with the results. Hard to get all the way. Slightly beveled cracks. Yeah. I'd go sprayer personally. How are we getting on, Rich?
Nothing seems to be working, mate. I can hear you slightly, but not very loud. And for some reason, my headphones are connected, but it's still playing through the phone.
You might have to change your settings in Discord. Might have to go into your settings now that you've connected them.
Me and technology, mate.
Don't worry. Is it going to be manageable, do you think, or do you want to leave it till next week?
Soundboard. Just double check. Oh, there we go.
Any better?
Right, go on. No.
Test.
Just in. No, I'll be fine, mate. I can hear you. I can hear you well enough.
Okay. All right. Welcome. What have you been up to today?
Working. I had to go back and re-sand a drive, but that was only for about half an hour. I had to re-sand the drive that I'd done the weekend. Then drop the kids off. Well, drop the kids off at school, obviously, to start with. Pick them up. Had kids swimming.
Have you
It's bedtime.
have you got those pictures on your Instagram yet from today?
No, I haven't. No, because it was just the sand. It was the one that I think I posted it on yesterday.
All right.
It was the one that had loads of issues with drainage.
You've been doing some big jobs, man. It's so crazy that you've. How long have you been doing this now, do you think?
It's been, I think it was about a couple of months ago. when I first jumped on the job with yourself.
Yeah.
It's been I'd probably say about a month and a half since I've done my first job. About a month and a half.
And the size of some of the jobs that you land in is pretty insane. And this is all, am I right in saying this is near enough 90% of the jobs that you land in are all from leaflets?
Word of mouth as well, to be honest. So in terms of leafleting, I think I've posted about 1,500 leaflets. I've got about another 2,500 to go. It's just I'm struggling finding time because it is quite time consuming. I want to make sure that I'm doing it as well, so I know they're definitely being posted.
Yeah, rather than passing them to someone else and dumping them in a bush or something. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so I've just been doing it myself, but in terms of like leafleting, I've probably done 1,500. That's anywhere between 8 and 10 hours it's took over the course of the last month or so. I've probably landed. I've landed about £2,000 worth of jobs from spending 150 quid on leafleting, and I've still got 2,500 to go. So
that's really good, isn't it?
Yeah, but they have been big jobs. In all fairness, I think that's the average is about 500 quid a job. So,
and you're also, even with that, you're also offering like an introductory discount, aren't you? Because you're sort of new to it.
Yeah, I'm doing 10% off. So I'll break it down. I've been using your template with giving as much information as possible on the quotes. So I'm letting them know what it would be, and then of course I'm just minusing the 10%.
Yeah.
And yeah, just showing them that. Yeah, just the offer that I've got on the leaflet. So new customers, first job, 10% off.
And has it been just pressure washing you're doing, or are you offering any other services at the minute?
Just pressure washing, but I've landed some repointing jobs.
We've got a big one this week, haven't we?
Coming up over the next 2 weeks. I know we're going to jump on. I think we've got quite a big one on Wednesday, Thursday, so that'd be good.
Yeah.
I know like how to do it. It's just actually doing it. So
yeah,
a good experience doing it with you, and that's it really. But I know we done a few gutter jobs on. When was it? Was it Sunday? Was it? No, it was Friday, wasn't it?
Friday, yeah. What did you think?
Yeah.
What did you think of the vacuuming, the gutter vacuum?
Hard work, man.
Compared to pressure washing.
It feels more graft, but it's something that I'm happy to do. It's just, the initial outlay of the cost of the kit. So I'm slowly investing back into the business. I need to get a gutter vac, and I'll probably do that. I'd probably say over the next 2 or 3 weeks, I'll be looking at purchasing that. So it could do with landing a couple more, well-paid jobs, and then I'm getting some graphics done on the van as well, hopefully in the next week. So I'm going to change and advertise for gutter cleaning as well.
What vacuum are you going for? Do you know?
I think I'll go for that small. What's the smaller one that you have? Is it the
Panther?
I want to say the Panther. I was going to say Raptor then. The Panther. Yeah, and then I'll just go for that to start us off.
Presumably, it'd be like the same poles that I've got, the aluminium poles, just to keep the cost down a little bit.
Yeah. In all fairness, I haven't looked into it too much. But I mean, the kit that I've used with you, I'm quite familiar with, so I'm happy to kind of stick to the same kit that you have.
It's I was very, very happy with the Panther.
Yeah.
The only reason I upgraded to the 3600 was because I was doing like commercial work and stuff. And I was doing a lot of schools, and if I hadn't have been doing the big schools and things, I wouldn't have bothered, because the Panther's absolutely fine. It does exactly what I needed it to do. I'm just going to get a price on the Panther with the poles, just so we can sort of see, because I forgot how much I paid for mine. So with the aluminium poles, I can't remember the height that I went. I think I went 36 foot. I got the biggest set that you can get with the pole bag. So it's about 774, including VAT. I think you get a decent amount for your money there. I mean, like I said to you the other day, I don't think this is an investment you need to make anytime soon. I think it can wait till September time. If you can generate a bit of, what's the word, interest from your current customers, and just say, by the way, in September I'm going to be offering this service now. Try and get them booked in the calendar, and just say, I'm going to be offering gutters. Do you want to get yourself booked in? This is how much I'm going to be charging. I haven't got the equipment yet, but I will have by then. And that gives you all summer then to save up for that equipment. And at least you know you've got all these people booked in the calendar by then. You said you had one the other day that did that, didn't you?
Yeah, from the, because I know we had a chat a few weeks ago about it before I started doing these quite big jobs, and I've already got a few people that are teed up for conservatory cleaning, fascias, soffits, downpipes, gutter clearing. So I've got a few people kind of backed up for that. What I'm thinking at the moment, because I'm getting all the graphics done, and I know it's something that I'm going to be going down the route of. I want to make sure that I just get the graphics done once on the van.
Yeah.
Obviously, because of cost. So I want to advertise everything that I am going to be, focusing on now, ready for when I've got the kit. I was having a word with Christy, my wife, and she said it's best to have it advertised and have people,
Ask.
landing jobs that I'm going to be using the kit on, because it's going to pay for itself in a short amount of time, especially if I'm landing like some big jobs that it could pay for that within one job.
I struggled with that exact thing when I was getting my van sign written at the very beginning, and I still didn't know which services I was going to be offering, especially long term. Yeah. Now that I know I'm doing things like PVC washing and solar panel cleaning and all that side of things, I didn't know I was going to be doing that when I first started pressure washing. I literally thought I'm going to be pressure washing and I'm going to be doing tarmac, decking, block paved driveways, patios, and that was what I listed. And so to pay to have that removed and replaced with my current services, it's a bit of a ball ache really. But I suppose you don't know which services you want to offer down the road until you start actually dabbling in them and trying them, because things like I could have advertised for window cleaning at the very beginning, but I think that would have been just a distraction for me. Even now, if I was to put roof cleaning on the van, it is a service I've done, but I don't think it's something I want to offer long term really. So it's quite confusing in the beginning to know what to do with the van.
Yeah. I think, to be honest, I've had long enough to think about it, and I've done enough kind of jobs with yourself to know what route I'm going down. So I definitely know it's going to be the route, because I'm thinking, come September, October time and winter time, when the pressure washing really slows down, unless it's commercial work, how am I going to keep myself tied over?
Yeah.
And I know that that's going to be the way that I'm going to be going. So, yeah.
Your leaflet is very good, by the way.
Get it advertised, even if I don't offer the services for another, month or so.
Yeah. Your leaflet is very nice.
I'd rather just, yeah.
Where did you get that leaflet done?
I designed it myself, just on Canva.
Did you? I've seen I've seen a lot of people using Canva.
Just got a template and then just played around with it.
That's really good. I like the before and afters on the back. That's a good idea.
Yeah, the first leaf, because I ordered, I think it was 1,000 leaflets I ordered to start with. And I just had on the front, where you've got that kind of like golden black kind of spotting, I just had that on the back. And I noticed when I was because in my area, I was actually knocking on the doors, like, within, 50-meter radius or so. I was actually knocking onto people's doors and handing them the leaflets, and I saw them checking out the back, and there was nothing on. And I thought, well, you may as well just fill the back out with something.
Yeah.
To get some before and afters on there.
How do you feel about actually knocking on someone's door to give them the leaflet rather than just posting it? Because I feel weird about that.
Yeah. It's weird because, like, you'll approach... Again, I've only done this with neighbours that I'll see about. So it's not just, a randomer's kind of door that I've knocked on. Because you see a lot of people saying no cold calling, junk mail, all that kind of stuff. I've had a few people where I've knocked on and they've been in a meeting and they've not been too happy. But I've just been like, there's my leaflet. I'll live 2 doors down. Just give us a shout if you need it, and just kind of, done it quite quick there. But I've been involved in sales for like 4 years, so I've like had loads of people that I've never even met, and I've had to try and sell something to and try and build rapport up. So it kind of feels comfortable.
Yeah.
For me, but it is weird. I get where you're coming from.
Yeah, it's just because I know how I feel when people knock on the door trying to sell me something. Have you got 30 seconds to talk to me? I'm like, no, not really. And then they keep trying and they don't take no for an answer. And you're like, I've just said no, I'm not interested. And they're like, yeah, but it's only going to take 5 minutes. It's like, no, go away.
I hate that. I hate that when someone comes up and knocks on the door, like, and you open it and they see that you've opened up like the porch bit, and they've clocked onto you that you're actually there, and you've got to like commit to going to the front door and be like, you're right. What do you want? No, go away.
Yeah. Is that your new surface cleaner in the background?
Yeah, can you see the handles?
Can we have a look?
Yeah, man.
Have you tried it yet?
I've got to sort the garage out. I've got to sort some storage. Look at that bad boy.
Shiny, mate.
Wow. Taking the roof out.
That's the one from Equip to Clean.
Yeah, Equip to Clean, yeah.
Is it 2 bar or 3?
What is it?
2 bar or 3 bars on the bottom?
2.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's the 18 inch.
Yeah, they've changed that then since I ordered it.
I've just ordered the adapter from PWS. I've got to go in and get the adapter sorted because I noticed the cup links are different sizes for the high pressure hose. Got is it the MTM?
Oh yeah, you've got the big MTMs and that comes with the MIDI adapter, I think. Yeah. So I could have used it on the job that I had over the weekend, but I had to order that adapter. So yeah, that's. Did you fit that yourself? Is it quite easy to do? Is it just? There's a video of me sort of drilling my surface cleaner, and it's quite difficult to. I mean, it's not a difficult job for anyone who knows how to use a drill, but you need the right size drill bit, and I think it's stainless steel, and it's quite a hard material to drill properly. I think you've got to go quite slow. 2 seconds.
Oh.
Sorry about that. No, I'm sure you'll be able to fit it yourself. I don't know if it comes with a little. Actually, saying that, my new surface cleaner that I fitted that to, I had to drill holes, but my old one, the rivet holes were in the correct place, so I didn't have to drill any extra holes. So you might be all right.
I hope so. Because when I start drilling, it goes wrong. Considering I'm going into pressure washing and everything, like my DIY skills are non-existent. I'm shocking.
So to be fair, mine always have been, and the more I've sort of tinkered with things, the better I've started to get. Well, naturally, I suppose the more you mess around with tools and stuff. I'm getting into electrics at the moment. I've got a little project on the go downstairs, and that's scary because you can kill yourself.
Yeah. I ain't touching electrics. I ain't doing that.
Are you you know that you said it was about £2,000 worth of work. How many jobs would you say that's split between, like, per week roughly? How many jobs do you think you're doing at the minute?
How many jobs have I done? Got booked in up until the first time I advertised?
Yeah. So a month and a half. How many jobs do you reckon you're doing?
I think it was about 18, maybe.
That's so good for a new business.
18.
For a new pressure washing business, you're already profitable. That's pretty crazy. What was I going to say? And has it been like a mixture of driveways and patios?
Yeah, mixture of driveways and patios. To be honest, I think what's helped me is I've tried to focus on. I know it's hard because people need to see the value in what you're offering. Some people just see it as a driveway and it's like, I park my car there. You know, I don't want it looking any fresher than what it does at the moment. But I've tried to focus on areas and jobs that are going to pay me. You know, I'm going to be there all day and it's going to be a lot of graft, but it's going to pay well. So I've just been quite specific with the areas that I'm leaflet dropping. I'm not just going up to any house and posting it through. I want to try and focus on like big jobs. I know I've only just started, but I feel comfortable enough with the equipment, chemicals, my attention to detail.
You know what's
I'm
involved.
happy to take them jobs on.
Yeah, you know what's involved because you've done enough jobs now.
Yeah.
And I'm losing my train of thought here. Sorry, I've had too much coffee today. You know when you I say after I've had like 2 or 3 coffees in the morning, I start to get the shakes and my mind starts like racing. Have you your setup at the moment? You've got the Kiam machine or whatever it's called, whatever they call them. Are you still keeping that in the van at the moment with the buffer tank?
Yeah, I've still got it in the van with the buffer tank. The only thing I've done, so I got a 30-meter hose to start with, high pressure hose, and then I got 2 10-meter extensions.
Has that been enough?
Yeah, it's been fine. I've only had to get the one extension, the 1 10-meter extension out at the moment. So yeah, that's 40 meters. I've got the other 10 which I haven't used yet. The one thing that I've come across that was a bit of an issue was the length of my hose to the buffer tank. So I'm pretty sure, is it a 30 meter? Because again, that was that was one of your ones, weren't it? Was it 20 meter or 30 meter?
It was 30 meter, but I think it's been cut down slightly since we messed about with it recently.
Right.
I think I cut it down slightly to make the feed hose to the tank, and then we cut it down slightly again, so it's probably more like 25 meters now.
Yeah. So I think I could do with a slightly big one, maybe like a 40 meter.
Yeah.
I know you've got a 50 meter, haven't you? You've got a big boy.
A big cumbersome hose.
Oh, big hose. A nice heavy hose.
And you still don't have a mounted reel, do you? So you sort of fold in your hose in a figure of 8 in the van, which I thought was unique. I hadn't seen that before.
Yeah, I just stumbled across that because at the start I was literally just trying to circle it, so just trying to make it as tidy as I possibly can, and it just weren't working. And then when I fully took the 30 meter out and started putting it back, it kind of just made a figure of 8 on its own, and I thought, okay, right. And then I just carried on with that, and I was like, actually, that's really good.
And it means you don't have to get it all out the van then, do you? Because it sort of unwinds itself as you pull it out.
That's it. Finding that out was a big help, because I was going to go and get the Skid X.
Yep.
To mount the pressure washer, because I was contemplating taking the pressure washer out and putting it back in every time, but I just couldn't do it. Like, my back would give in. Even if I had ramps, I just think it'd be too much of a pain. So I'm looking at getting it mounted, but I'm going to save up for, I think is it the PB?
Yeah. The PB.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm going to save that and have I think I'm going to have the hose reel, because I haven't got that much height in the van. I think I'm going to have the hose reel next to it, maybe. We did plan it out, but that's probably going to be for another, I reckon, 2 months. I reckon about 2 months. I'm managing at the moment with it. It's fine.
I'm trying to find a picture of the PB. There we go. So you can, if you go to PWS in Stafford, they'll take your machine and they can mount it on one of these plates and mount it to a frame and a hose reel, which is really, I think it's a really cool idea actually. So it would have meant if you'd have switched to pulling your machine out of the van, it would have meant that you could have gotten away with a shorter high pressure hose reel, but you'd have had to swap your mounted water tank for like a wheelie bin one. And so it's about weighing up that effort every day of pulling your machine in and out of the van versus the cost of slowly upgrading the equipment to make it a little bit more usable every day. But also, do you feel safe leaving your machine? Because I know this was one of your concerns while you were on a job, is you're out the back while your van's open and your equipment's in there. Have you sort of got over that thought, or are you still worried about it?
I've kind of got over it. Yeah. It was one thing that I was worried to start with. But yeah, it'd be too much effort for me, it's too much effort getting the machine out. So I'm happy just leaving it where it is. And then when you actually break it down, when it's obviously, mounted in the van, you haven't got to worry, because, they can't exactly just unbolt it all and take it out. Well, they probably could, but it would take ages. So I've kind of got over it. I'll just crack on with the jobs.
Are you finding your customers are happy? Are you getting many reviews and stuff?
Yeah, they've been really happy. I've been trying to post more on my Facebook business page and getting reviews on that. And there's a few customers that said they are going to leave a review, but I need to send over the link. So I've got maybe like 2 or 3 reviews yet to come. But I've not been like massive on social media. I've always struggled with it. So again, this is a learning curve, trying to be as consistent as I can with it. But I've had quite a few inquiries come through because I've got the Facebook business page, my normal Facebook page, which I don't use. So I just thought, got like 1,200 people who are meant to be friends. I'd probably know 10 of them. But I've got them that are going to be seeing it. And then also my Instagram, I've literally posted 20 photos in like 10 years. So I've just made use of that and just getting it across all platforms, really.
Yeah. How are you getting on with the chemicals? Are you feeling comfortable? Are you getting good results with hypo and stuff?
Yeah, good results. I use the Profine. It's got that like little proportioner, like 5-to-1. But when I went to the farm shop, last job that we were on, I bought myself like measuring jugs and everything. So I'm going to start. I've started doing it already, more so on areas that are really struggling with black spotting. Just doing like I don't know, maybe like a 2-to-1 mix on it, and then just dipping the broom in.
Yeah.
Got my foamy broom, game changer.
It's a shame.
I've been using that. The results they've been really good.
You ain't got a picture of that, have you?
A couple of times, but mainly hypo.
You ain't got a picture of that broom, have you?
Oh no, I don't. No.
We're quite particular about our brooms, and we've got these little. I didn't tell you I broke mine. I broke it yesterday.
Oh, yeah. Did you really?
Yeah, in Malvern. I was cleaning some porcelain with it, and it's just a little generic garden broom, but they're like, are they flocked? The ends of the bristles are flocked.
Yeah,
and like they're super soft, but it's the best thing for helping the hypo like foam up. So rather than having like a big stiff bristle brush that kind of doesn't really agitate it very well, because you're not trying to brush the black spots away. That's not what the agitation is designed for. You're supposed to brush it to keep it active on the surface, and to, if you can help it foam up as well and get it in the areas where you actually need it. One of those softer brushes are really good. I think I was considering buying like a bigger, wider, softer brush, but then I won't be able to dip it in the bucket if I need to do work with the bucket. So I don't know yet.
Yeah, because do you use the bucket much?
I have been recently on the smaller jobs. I had the job that I was doing in Malvern. Let's see if I can find it. He had like a pond, and he said he weren't too bothered about the chemicals going into the water, but there was some life in there, and so it's quite an awkward little pond, and so I was just dipping the brush and just sort of I wouldn't have wanted to use the X-Jet on this because it would have just been insane. But it really works. Yeah, it's proper posh. The only reason he wanted it cleaned was because all the grout in between the joints was green, and he just bought this new pressure washer that he was really happy with, but he was blowing all the joints out trying to clean them, and he asked me to pop over and see if I can work some magic. And it came up really well in the end.
Was that hypo? Was it?
Yeah, just a weak dilutions, about 1 to 6 maybe.
Right. Okay.
But I didn't leave it on too long, and tried to.
Looks nice.
Yeah, I tried to sort of wash it away from the water, but it's very difficult when you're working right next to water. If you're ever working next to like a river or a canal or something, I wouldn't bother using chemicals, and just explain to the customer that it's just not something you're allowed to do. I think Pure Seal do offer something called Eco Wash or something. I can't remember what the product's called. Let's have a look. Safe Clean Eco, and I think it's kind of like a biocide. 100% safe, eco-friendly, safe for pets and children, works on all surfaces. Evening AGC cleansing, welcome. Have you got any big jobs coming up, or is it just the ones that we've got booked in together? Because you're working with me a couple of days a week every so often, aren't you?
Yeah. I've got a few. Yeah, I've got the repointing ones, so that'll be good.
Did you win that
to
one?
Jump on. Yeah. So that was a rear patio. I think it's about 60 odd square meters, but it only needs 25 square meters repointing, and that's very similar to the other one that I landed as well. That was the one over in Bromsgrove. That was originally just going to be a pressure wash, but then I told him, obviously, I think it'd been down for 25 years, and there was literally like nothing. There was no point in there. So yeah, managed to land that one. I've got another one that's 140 square meter drives. That's quite a big one.
Do you know what you're pricing the repointing work at the moment?
I'm just going in at £9 square meter to start with. I think we had a chat, didn't we? And average is anywhere between 10 and £20 a square meter, I believe.
So £9 per square meter, is that including the wash or not?
No, that's separate. So
the wash should be about £3-4.
Yeah, so £3 a square meter, maybe 3.5, 350.
So all in,
anywhere between 3 and 350, and then £9 a square meter for the repointing.
So all in, you're at about £12.50 per square meter for the repointing. I think that's about right. I mean, I'm the more that I'm doing, the more money that I want for it, really, because you realise how much work is actually involved and how physical it is. I mean, we're doing one together on Wednesday, and it's a pretty big one, really. I'm gonna buy another angle grinder so we can both be on the grinding at the same time. Cool. I'll show you which discs to get as well, because I've got a bit of experience with trying different discs out and which ones work best. I think we can probably. I found it quite good using my generator. I've got like a little petrol generator, and although it gets really dusty and it tends to suck a lot of the dust in, which probably isn't healthy, I think we can both plug into that and just move it around instead of having extension leads going all over the place. But we'll have to see.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, I'm quite looking forward to that one. I think we might film that one if we've got time. How are you finding driving over to Redditch for these jobs? Is it still like worth your time, do you think?
Yeah, it's fine. I think what helps is leaving in the morning, like early-ish. Like if we can jump on a job at 8 o'clock, it's absolutely fine. Because I used to work in Albury and didn't start until 8:30, and sometimes it could take me up to an hour just to get to Albury.
Yeah.
So to start with, I was a bit like, God, is it gonna work? Because it's not actually that far, to be honest. It's just the M5. If you can get a straight run down the M5, absolutely fine. The way back is always a bit dodgy because I come off just before the M5 meets the M6. So that sometimes can be like congested up from West Brom down, but you're probably only talking, 10-15 minute delay. It's not a problem.
It's nice to get out early. I think the only issue because we started that job the other day at 8 a.m. I think we pretty much turn the machines on at like 5, 10 past 8, and I'm not sure what the neighbours are going to be thinking about starting that time in the morning. But at least you can get yourself set up and stuff, and get everything prepared. Get your photos taken, get your water tank filling up, chat to the customer, get all that out the way, and then get to like 9ish, and then start the machine at 9 o'clock on the dot. Gives you a bit of a head start.
It is early, if I'm honest. I mean, because obviously I've got kids anyway, so I'm up pretty much every morning at like just gone 7. Like the neighbours over the road, they were having like a complete renovation, and I think they were starting off at about, it was before 8 o'clock actually. It was anywhere between 7:30 and 8 o'clock. And I was like, they were like firing up machines and everything. I was like, what are they doing?
Yeah.
Like that early? Like, that's way too early. But then like we're jumping on jobs at 8, so
Yeah.
people will think it, but as long as the customer's happy and they're going to know what their neighbours are like. If it's going to be an issue, then I'd imagine you'd like to think that they'd say probably best off doing it a bit later.
Am I a bit louder now? No.
You know what? I've done an Instagram story the weekend, and the first like 2 seconds of it was very quiet.
All right.
And then I suddenly got louder, so I think there's something wrong with my speaker.
Oh, it's okay. I've just switched microphones, that was all. Sorry, I asked earlier. I have a concrete slab patio to clean. It was sealed about 5 years ago. Will pressure wash and hypo be enough for this? I don't know. Squeegee Dave, feel free to send us some photos and we'll have a look for you, mate. I suppose it depends if they've sealed over black spots and stuff. That's going to be the issue. I mean, I think sealer is usually designed to last up to 2 to 3 years before it starts to lose all its coating and stuff in the weathering. But if the black spots are, I mean, if it's got any black spots at all, you're absolutely fine to pressure wash and hypo it, but it just depends how effective it's going to be if it's been sealed over. 8 a.m. is fine, even a Saturday, law says so. Yeah, that's true. What time can you run a machine until? I wonder, because I know you can't play music past like 11 o'clock at night. I wonder if that's the same for working equipment.
I'm going to take a guess at 9 o'clock of the night. That's my guess. I don't know. I'm usually in bed by 9:30, so I'd hope it was 9.
How late can you operate machinery? UK. Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Noisy work is prohibited on Sundays and bank holidays. What? I think this is just for one borough. How late can you use power tools? Oh, it is 8 a.m. till 6 p.m. Monday to Friday. That's crazy.
Sandra didn't say that.
Is it actually prohibited on Sundays and bank holidays? Surely not, because that might throw my whole thing off, because I work every Sunday.
Surely not. A Sunday.
I have once worked on a bank holiday and got screamed at. This was for a company I used to work for. Yeah, I always work bank holidays because I never see them when I'm in my calendar. I always just book working, and then Soph says, "Oh, did you know Monday is a bank holiday? Do you want to come out with me and the kids?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm working, sorry."
Do you think it feels like now we're older, there's so many more bank holidays from when you were a kid?
Yeah, Soph reckons there's only like 5 a year, but it feels like there's way more than that. I'm reporting you, Jake. Okay. How you doing for time?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, good for another 15 minutes or so.
What's your next purchase?
Oh, my next purchase.
Other than your van sign writing.
I reckon it's going to be the gutter vac.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got the surface cleaner now. So when that's up, I love using the surface cleaner. So once that's up and running.
On that London job that I just posted today, I said to Rich, do you want to do the surface cleaning, or do you want to? I think I said, do you want to resand the driveway? And he was like, can I have a go on the surface cleaner again? I really like it.
I was like, you know me and a surface cleaner.
So I've watched that bit of the video, and she said that was so satisfying, watching that cleaning under the table and stuff.
Yeah, like just the amount of time you can save on it it's crazy.
I'm still not convinced with the block paving, although that job that we did on Friday, I surface cleaned the block paving first, and then we both sort of turboed and rinsed at the same time, and that did work really well. We did that job in an hour.
It was a good area as well. That was a good size area. Smashed through it, didn't we?
Yeah, so 2 of us, an hour. But the one thing I did notice when I was resanding is I'd missed quite a few bits with the turbo. Not in terms of cleaning, because everything was clean because I'd been over the whole area with the surface cleaner. But when I'd rinsed down with the turbo nozzle, trying to catch all them little weeds, because the surface cleaner doesn't get any weeds out from what I've seen. And where I've tried to catch all those little weeds with the turbo nozzle, I've missed a few. And so when I'm resanding, I'm having to dig out weeds with my car keys. And I'm just not convinced.
I was going to say, do you think it would make a big difference just going over with the surface cleaner, then back over with the turbo? Like in terms of time? Because obviously when you've got the turbo, you know pretty much exactly where you are, and you know that area that you've done is done. So going over the whole area with the surface cleaner and then having to like kind of pinpoint them weeds.
That's my issue.
You are gonna miss some, aren't you?
Yeah, it's less accurate. It's got to be less accurate because there's like you say, there's no distinction between where you've cleaned and where you haven't, and so you're just hoping that you're not missing weeds.
Yeah,
I think on a massive area, it would make sense for one person to be going with the surface cleaner and then the other person behind with the turbo. On a massive area, I think you'd get through the initial clean a lot quicker. I don't know. I tried lowering the bar the other day. You can unscrew the. I'll see if I've got a picture. I'll have to look in a minute. But you can unscrew the bearing housing on the top of the surface cleaner. You can loosen that and drop the whole housing down, which drops the bar down underneath as well. And so the bar ends up closer to the ground. So the nozzles are closer to the ground, but it didn't make that much difference. I think I only lowered it about 1.5 centimeters maybe, so I might try and lower it a bit more. It's just once you get too low, you're going to start hitting things with the bar as it's spinning around if you've got some uneven ground. I don't know.
Maybe it'd be a game changer if you could get the surface cleaner on block paving.
That'd be
a game changer.
It'd be sick. So many people do it, and I still don't understand how they're doing it. I've got some real big block paving jobs coming up, and I could really do with that surface cleaner being good. But I don't know.
I might try it on just how it's set up. I might just try it on a small area on one of my jobs coming up, just to see if I have the same, issue with it leaving weeds and that.
I think yours comes.
Saves so much time.
Yeah, yours comes with 25-degree nozzles, doesn't it? Standard.
Yeah, the 25. Yeah, 25 degree. Because you can change them, can't you? You can get.
Yeah.
What are yours? Yours 25.
They were 25, but I switched to 15-degree for block paving and 40-degree for patios and tarmac, just because it's a bit of a wider spread, so it's not as concentrated pressure on one small area. I think I was using 25-degree on patios for probably a year before I switched them out, so you'll be fine. You just got to turn the pressure down a little bit, that's all.
Okay. I've just seen someone's commented saying I'm a local. Originally I'm from Rubery. Is it AGC?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I'm from Rubery, but I live in Aldridge now, over Walsall way. So the area that I'm targeting is Sutton Coldfield, Aldridge, Mere Green, Four Oaks, that kind of area. So
the posh houses in Four Oaks, isn't it?
The posh area, yeah.
Would you?
Frankly, lad.
would you say most of your customers are like elderly people that are responding to your leaflets?
Yeah. Yeah.
And are you giving prices at the door, or are you telling them you're going to go away and price it up for them?
I'll go away and price it up.
Have you given any prices at the door?
No.
Hmm.
No. The only time is if I was leaflet dropping, for example, and I'm about to post it through, and the bloke opens up the door and I pass it to him, and he's like, "Oh, so how much do you reckon it'll be for this?" I always say, like, it's per square meter. I need to do an accurate measurement. It could be in and around 200-300 quidish, and put them off straight away. Or do it yourself for that.
Yeah. It's difficult because if you say it's going to be around about 250, and then they say, okay, yeah, that's not too bad, you can't then measure up and say, oh, it's going to be 275. You can't do that. Else they're going to be like, oh, I didn't expect it to be, a whole 25 quid more expensive. So I just don't like it. I don't like giving estimates. Although one thing I have been doing with the, sorry, I'm just wondering what beer I'm going to try. So bought me a bunch of different beers. A bold, hoppy, citrusy West Coast IPA. That sounds good. The one thing I have been estimating is roof cleans, because people don't understand how much roof cleaning costs, and so they'll message you for a price, and they're expecting 300 quid, whereas actually my minimum roof clean that I'll do is up at like 700 quid. I'm not going to clean a roof for any less than that because it's just not worth it for me. And so when you say, quick measure on Google Maps, times it by the profile of the ridge, and I'll say it's going to be in the region of about 750, £800. Immediately, it's either, oh, that's too expensive, don't worry about it, or if that's within your budget, I can pop round and have a proper measure up and check access and water pressure and all that sort of stuff. And that's the point where you'll know whether they're actually serious or not, because they'll say, yeah, can you pop round and inspect first, please?
Yeah. I think that's probably the one benefit that you get from giving them a bit of an estimate is when you try and give an estimate, you don't want to sound too expensive, so you got to be careful that you don't undercut yourself. But even if you did undercut yourself slightly, and their reaction is, "Oh, I'll do it myself," it's saved a job of having to go back out there, measure up, put a quote together. I know it's part of the job, but it kind of weeds out the, not time wasters, it sounds quite bad, that, but it people who are serious about it. If you said, oh, it's going to be around 250, 300 quid, and they go, oh, okay, well, yeah, I'd like an accurate measure up of it.
Mm-hmm.
You've kind of put their expectations in that it isn't going to be like, £50 job. It is what it is. So that's the only benefit I would probably say is you can kind of set their expectations then and there. And if they are interested, they'll be like, okay, bro, can you come over and measure up?
Yeah.
If they're not, they're going to have the reaction like, oh, yeah, it's fine. I'll probably do it myself, which is, again, isn't a problem.
The other thing,
got to see value in it.
Yeah. The other thing I've noticed with this isn't like an advert or anything, but this Moser that I've been using, when I'm telling people I price per square meter and I'll come out and measure up to give you an accurate price, I've found I've had less people haggling with me, because when I'm measuring and then I send them that diagram and they can see the square meterage at the bottom, there's no arguing with that. That's how big the area is. And when I apply my pricing structure, that's how much it's going to cost you. And there's no back and forth. There's the price, take it or leave it sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I'm finding I'm having less conversations with people, but I'm winning more work. I don't know whether it's just because it's more impressive or because they can see that I'm maybe more professional and that I've got a structure, rather than when you're sort of coming up with a price out of thin air, that person thinks it's an opportunity then to pull you down a bit and try and get a better deal. If you've got a structure, they're less likely to try and haggle, I think.
Yeah. I think that professional image is massive. If you're going round with one of them and they can see you're actually measuring it out, and then you send them the exact area, there is no argument with it.
Yeah.
The only argument would be they don't want to pay for that work, or it's pretty much just going to be that. It's purely going to be that. They just don't.
I'm perfectly happy with people saying that's slightly out of my budget. Can we talk about it? Absolutely fine. But I'm having less of those conversations, I feel like, over the last 3 weeks, maybe. I don't think I'm going to bother using it on the small jobs, because I know, based on my structure, that anything under, I can't remember what the square meterage would be. Let me just pull it up for a second. So yeah, anything under about 40 square meters is around about my threshold for my minimum charge. So if I've got a patio of 25 square meters, which I did today, unless there's other work surrounding it, I'm not charging 75 quid. I'm charging a minimum charge of 125 quid. And so rather than going around spending time with the Mosia, measuring everything up, if I can see it's a tiny patio, I'm just going to say, this is my minimum charge, 125 quid, unless you want the drive doing or the decking doing or whatever.
That's helped me with some of the smaller jobs as well, because I've set myself at minimum charge as well, and I'll just say to them, if it's a tiny area, if you do want the work done, you definitely want the back done, think about having the drive done as well. It's going to cost you maybe an extra £20 to have the back done, to have the front done, then just 125 quid just for the rear patio. So that helps having a minimum charge. If it's literally just like a side path or something that they want blasting, it's going to be pointless getting you out. They think it's going to cost them 30-40 quid, but I'm not really going to drive out and set my equipment up for 35-40 quid. It's not worth my time, really. No.
Should we have a look if there's any questions? Have you got time? Are you good for a minute?
Go for it, I've lost track of it, to be honest.
Craig says go straight for the carbon poles. Can you explain why, Craig? And how much more are the carbon poles compared to the aluminium poles? There's 10 bank holidays per year. I had a customer at my previous job that threatened to pull me off my ladders at 8:30 in the morning on a Sunday. Oh my God.
Some people.
I saw a video on YouTube where the guy lowered the bar to get the weeds out. I'm not sure if it's effective or not. I also found that when I lowered the bar, I sort of measured each nozzle just to make sure I was still straight against the side of the surface cleaner. And my bar is like wonky, and it always has been. One nozzle is way higher than the other, and I'm wondering whether it's been stored weirdly, because I bought it second hand. It'd only been used twice. Wondering if it's been stored weirdly on something and it's bent the bar up, or if I've whacked it off something already. I don't think I have though.
What surface cleaner is that one? Because you've got a couple, haven't you?
It's the big 20-inch the BE, the big yellow whirlaway.
Oh yeah.
Just fit 2 turbo nozzles on the surface cleaner. That's the dream, that is. If you could have a turbo surface cleaner.
We're flying off, but like a little jetpack.
The slabs just look dirty without black spots and barely any litching. I lightly scraped some litching with my key and it was shifting easily. Yeah, you're fine. Yeah, any concrete pavers, you're absolutely fine with hypo. Had a couple of jobs in Aldridge. I have family over near Wolverhampton. People are always tight when they insist on a price straight away. Yeah, I've noticed that. People that need a price on the spot there and then is because I think they just want to suss you out just to see whether you're cheap or not. I found that the people that are more serious are like, yeah, I'll wait to hear back from you, that sort of thing. I've been struggling to keep on top of my quotes recently. I swear, I've just employed someone. Everyone, announcement. I've just employed my first employee. It's crazy. I'm scared, but Things are going well at the moment. It's just I know from the experience now of working with you and having Jakey on board for just those few days of always, and having my brother over the winter as well. It's been so much quicker with two people. And on the jobs where I've got you, because you've got that other machine, that second machine, and we're both washing, we absolutely fly through the jobs. That one that we did the other morning, big block paving job, you said that would have taken you about 3 hours.
Yeah, I reckon. Yeah,
Oh,
3 hours or so.
we were
4 hours.
we were in and out within literally like an hour, just over an hour maybe, which is crazy. So
The whole day like flew by, didn't it? That?
yeah. So what I've got to do now, because I've employed this young lad, Jakey, I need to buy a new machine. So it's not just the cost of employing someone. I've now got to spend like 2-3 grand on another setup. So I need a new pressure washer, another hose reel, high pressure hose, another buffer tank. And it's just, I'm trying to figure out my options as to whether I go for like another van mounted machine next to mine, or whether I get something more versatile that I can take out of the van if I need to, so that I can send him round the back patio maybe while I'm doing a drive or something. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Are you going to get that all in your van to start with? What's the plan with like a second van, or have you thought about that? I know it's obviously fairly early days, but
Yeah, he's going to be coming around with me for a good amount of time, just because I know how much of a perfectionist I think I'm a perfectionist, and I want him to see what I'm doing, the little things that I'm doing. I think that separate me from a lot of people, and it's the sort of stuff that you're doing as well. I know your standard of work is very, very high. Just little things like rinsing down the bins, wiping down the windowsills, wiping down the gutters, the drain pipes, the downpipes, rinsing off stones. It's the tidy up bits at the end. And I just need to make sure that he's seeing me do all that, so that when he goes out on his own, he knows that that's the sort of things I want him doing. Don't go van mounted. Why not? Get him a portable machine with a wheelie bin buffer tank. That's what I'm leaning towards. Yeah. 15 litre per minute would be an ideal second machine. What would be the benefit of doing a 15 litre over a 21 litre if I've got the budget? Because I'm thinking 21,200. That way you can drop him off on a job and leave him. Ooh, that's a good idea. If I get to the... Because that way I'm not just sending him out in the van on his own. I'm coming with him, helping set up, saying hello to the customer. He's cracking on while I'm going to another job, and then I come and pick him up at the end, and we make sure everything's looking good before we hand it over. That's a great idea. Yeah.
And it's less cost for a van as well. That'd work well.
Yeah.
You get to oversee everything then as well. And as soon as he starts getting to the point where he's doing absolutely everything perfectly, he's good to go. Because
I want him literally, now that I've got the Moja, I want him going out and quoting. So I want him getting, I mean, he's worked in Aldi for years, so he'll have a good rapport with my customers and stuff. So I want him literally doing everything that I'm doing, and I'm going to gradually increase his pay the more stuff he can do. Before I let you go, as someone who's recently started pressure washing, and as far as I'm aware, you're planning on going full time at some point, have you got any advice for anyone who is new to the industry or thinking about starting up on their own? I know I've just dropped this question on you. I didn't ask you this before, so feel free to take some time to
I think a big one is attention to detail, as we've touched base on. I think you've got to take pride in the work that you're doing, because depending on the size of the job, it's not just a £50 job that you're doing. If you're charging people 500-600 quid for a drive, you need to make sure that it's £500-600 worth of work You know, you can do that within a day, and that's like, you know, it's crazy money that you can be earning. But you've got to have the fine, like really good attention to detail. Communication with customers as well. I think that's massive in anything. Keeping them updated. If you're booking them a month in advance, make sure that you're dropping them a message or just touching base with them, and letting them know that you're still going to be there working. Taking your time with it as well. On all of my jobs, I've kind of said to the missus, I'll be done by so and so time. And then I get a phone call. It's like, oh, how long do you got left? I'm like, yeah, I'll be done in half an hour. And 2 hours later, I'm still there. I've found myself trying to rush to finish at the time that I've said that I'd be finishing. And very quickly realising when I've started rushing, it's not something that you can rush through. You've got to do a proper job. Because the last thing you want to do is do the pressure washing, come back to resand, and then notice like patches everywhere. Like I just couldn't do it. So taking your time with it and come across as professional as possible, even when you're first starting out. Get an idea on how the equipment works, how the chemicals work. I don't think people may not do this, but I go out of my way to let them know that I'll be using a chemical and how the chemical is going to work and how it's going to get rid of the black spotting. It's not going to come up perfectly, but I'll do my very best to get the best results I possibly can for the age of the drive. I think just having that professional look, presenting yourself very well, asking them if they've got any questions for you. Is there anything that we haven't covered that you wanted to touch base on? Asking the right questions. Do you have any issues with water pressure? Do you have any issues with moss, weeds, black spotting? Just try and get to the root cause of why they want the work done.
That's a good point. Place. Yeah, that's probably something you learn in sales is actually, it's not just selling the product that you think they want, it's asking the right questions to make sure you're covering everything that they want doing as well.
Yeah, because then when you're on the job, you can then use that as, I know we touched base on the quota when we first met, and you mentioned that this is an issue that you're struggling with, or there's a certain area which has horrendous black spotting, which you'll go on a stronger mix of hypo. You're selling yourself then. You're selling what you're doing. And after, I always get the customer to come out and have a look at what I've done.
Yeah.
And touch base and say, like, this area was like horrendous with black spotting. I've managed to get good results on it by a stronger hypo mix.
And if
just taking care in your work. I know there's a lot of things, but I've tried a lot of things over the years, and you've got to enjoy what you're doing. Don't go all out. Don't buy all the kit and spend thousands and thousands of pounds, because you might do it for a week and think, I hate this. It's massively helped jumping on a few jobs with you, to be honest. Like being able to do the jobs with yourself. I realised I know I'd enjoy it anyway, but I enjoy doing the jobs with you and learning from you and educating yourself. And there's a lot of things. So,
that getting hands on with that equipment is really valuable, isn't it? Like the gutter clearing the other day, just understanding how the machines work, what you've got to do to set the machines up properly, like all that sort of stuff. But touching on what you said, you could be spending more time on a certain area that the customer's not bothered about, but less time on the area that they really wanted doing, really well, because they've got a garden party coming up or something. And the other thing I always do now, I've been doing it for a while, and it's something that I'd naturally thought of, because I'm like, I just want to make sure when I leave that I'm going to get a good review. So I'll always bring them outside, show them around, and say, is there anything you need me to do before I go? Because I'm happy if you need me to do this here, whatever, just let me know before I go and I'll do it. And there might be something like, oh, could you just put that plant pot back over there because you've put it back in slightly the wrong place? Or could you just turn that for me? Could you just lift that over there for me while you're here? And it's just those little touches that let them know that you're prepared to go the extra mile for them. And that's, I think, what solidifies like a real good review sometimes.
Yeah, as an example, the lady that I done the work on over the weekend, I pretty much had to move everything off the side, like not knowing where
Ah,
everything was.
I saw
Spent about
that.
45 minutes moving it all. And then I said to her, I said, when I come back and resand, I'll resand. If you want to shift anything around the garden, let us know where you want things placed. And then it's completely done then.
Was that one of your
So
stories? Is that gone now?
I think it was just a story.
Ah, damn it! Because
Yeah,
that was a
it was
good
about
one.
45 minutes to move all the kit and everything.
Are you
All the
charging for
garden
that going
furniture,
forward?
all on the grass, but there was like a gravel area as well. But I spent today's probably about 45 minutes moving the garden around with her.
Are you going to charge for that going forward, like moving pots and stuff? If you see one like that one, has that opened your eyes
Yeah,
as to how much work it is to just move pots?
yeah. I'll always, again, with the photos that I take before I make the quote, I'll always take that into consideration. If I see pots everywhere, it's a couple of pots, I don't mind doing that. But if there's loads of stuff that needs moving, then I'm happy to charge a little bit extra. I haven't set a figure, but I'll just always have that in the back of my mind. Okay, this is going to be a good amount of work before I even start pressure washing.
Yeah, I've been saying you can either move them yourself or get one of your friends or family to help, or I can charge you an additional 15, £20 to move them
Mm,
and put them back.
yeah.
Okay, mate. Is there anything you want to share before you go, or are you happy?
No, I think I'm happy.
Thank you. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, yeah. I'm happy with everything. I think it's just if you enjoy it, definitely go for it because I find it very satisfying work. I like being out, say in the fresh air, in the rain, the sun, the snow, whatever.
Yeah.
The UK. I think it's a good thing to be doing, and as long as you can do a quality job and do the best you can possibly do, you shouldn't have any problems. You just need very good attention to detail.
Yeah.
And
It,
recommendations are massive. I've already noticed recommendations, word of mouth.
and all these people, as long as you're leaving it in a good spot and you're making sure they're happy before you go, there's no reason why they wouldn't come back next year. And so
Exactly.
the more of these relationships you can build, the less you're going to have to advertise over the years because the work is just going to naturally come back to you.
Hmm.
Um,
You've seen that massively yourself, haven't you?
yeah, huge. Year
Over the last,
two,
was it 12 months or so?
year two, I saw, the majority of my work was people I've worked for the year before, which was crazy.
Yeah,
I didn't expect
it's
it to
good.
be that. Yeah.
And that shows you've done a really good job the first time.
Yeah. Yeah. I hope so. I'm very proud of you, by the way. It's a very you've
Stop it.
you've gone from doing something that you wasn't particularly happy with to just being proactive and coming out with me and stuff and just trying it. And then you've got to the point now where you're earning a decent whack from it, and you just go out, you're just smashing it. You're going out on your own, and you're doing such a good job. And I think it'll be you're not full time yet because you've still got your other job, but I don't think it'll be long, mate. Like I say, if you put the right preparation in place before winter, there's a chance you'll get through your first winter without having to supplement it with other work as well. But I'd still say to anyone who's just starting out, don't just leave your job. Maintain that relationship with your employer, and just see if you can drop your hours slightly or do a few days off here and there. Would you say, are you worried about winter or are you okay?
No, I think it's one thing that I've been thinking about. How am I going to keep the money coming in over winter? I'm preparing for it already. I think if I weren't thinking about winter and I didn't know from you that it can dry up and you might have to look at different avenues of work and how to bring money in, I think it would just hit you like a ton of bricks and think, oh my God, why is nothing coming in?
Mm-hmm.
So I think it can be scary, but as long as you're aware that you are going to have slower months, very similar to sales, you might have 1 month that's absolutely crazy, the next month hardly anything. Yeah, just prepare for the months that you think are going to be slower, and if you can get ahead of the game and get work booked in, a few months before, then I would imagine you'd be okay. I've not done a winter yet, so yeah, get me on in 12 months' time and let me know how my winter was.
Yeah, man. I mean,
Hopefully good.
yeah, the fact that you're preparing now and you're looking at that gutter clearing equipment, and yeah, if you can get people booked in for their gutters at the end of September, you might even have a full calendar. You never know. This winter just gone was my busiest time of year. Like, it wasn't my busiest, but in terms of the earnings, because I was doing a lot of commercial work and stuff.
Yeah,
I didn't expect it at all, because the year before it was totally dead, which is scary. But
what a nice surprise to think you're going into like the quietest time, and then financially you're balling.
This was when my brother came back as well, and I thought, you can come out with me, but I can't guarantee that I'm going to be able to afford to pay you, because this is the quietest time of year for me. But yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate you, mate. Thanks for coming on.
No, thank you. No, I appreciate everything you're doing as well.
Oh, no worries.
You're helping us out massive, and I know you're helping a lot of people out as well, doing what you're doing and educating people. So
thank you, mate. Thank you.
Smash you, buddy.
All right. Have a good night.
See you later.
See you Wednesday.
See ya.
Bye. That was nice, wasn't it, everyone? That was lovely, wasn't it? Let's have a look. Let's just catch up on some notifications. Thank you so much, Craig, for the 10 months resubscription. Thank you, Ad, the boosted member, for 7 months. Thank you, mate. Very kind. The method I use when I get overwhelmed: pull someone in to drop off on a job. Set up a sign. Works well. How are you doing that with? Can you really do that with someone that you haven't necessarily trained? Because I'm sure there's plenty of people I could find on my Facebook friends list. Do you want a day's work? Does anyone need a day's work? Cash in hand or whatever. But then they've never used the equipment before. They don't know what to do if something goes wrong, and you don't know what their standard of work's like. So, am I getting the right end of the stick there? Is that what you're saying? Also, dropping him off gives him the feeling of independence and trust, and that you want to keep going. Yeah, that's important when you're employing someone, I suppose, is giving them enough freedom where they feel that independence. And yeah, like you say, he feels that I trust him enough to... I didn't even think of dropping him off. That's a great idea. I love my job, never get disappointed with my work. I put 100% into every job, no matter how big or small. How many people here? Let me do a little poll. How many people here wear headphones at work? Because I found a massive difference since I started wearing headphones, listening to music, listening to podcasts and stuff. Today, I resanded quite a big block paved area in like half an hour. So I stuck my music on. I was listening to The Weeknd, and it was quite like it's quite like fast-paced music. Some of it was, and the difference in the way I was moving was insane. I looked like I was on drugs. I looked like I just smashed 3 energy drinks. The way I was sweeping, I was possessed. It makes such a difference when you've got some banging music in the background. It's like my theme tune as I'm working. Urban Detail, welcome. How you doing? Modified our surface cleaner last week and made the handle detachable from the head. It's been a game changer when it comes to fitting it in the van. So some of them split halfway down. You can take a key out and it splits the surface cleaner in half, and you can just sort of fold it in half. You uploaded a how-to on the YouTube channel. Should we see if we can find it? Urban Detail. Patio and driveway. We're assuming this is the name of your YouTube channel. Here we go. Ultimate upgrade. You're taking the little keys out. What's the difference with them ones that you're putting in there? Or are they the same? It's a quick release. Oh, I see. So instead of screwing it into the bearing top, you're fitting a quick release onto this hose, so you can fully take it off rather than just folding it and the hose keeps everything attached. You're fully pulling it away. Yeah, it's this bit, isn't it, that's the main thing. Ah, that's clever. That is a good idea. I wonder why more of them don't do this. Is it just the cost of the fittings? That's actually very clever. And I don't know why you'd need to do this, but if you did need to at any point take the handle off and just plug the end of your lance in, no, that wouldn't work because it's the opposite. It's a female attachment, not a male. Either way, clever stuff. I like it. Well done. "55% of you wear headphones." We've had 22 votes. For those of you that don't wear headphones, try it. Just some wireless noise cancelling headphones. It makes a huge difference. I'm not going to say the word game changer. Selling yourself. I had a client message me yesterday. They'd cancelled all the other viewings and wants to book me in now because of my knowledge and job, professional demeanour. Knowledge of the job and professional demeanour. That's mad. That's crazy. So they'd already had other quotes booked in and they cancelled them. 52 people watching. Get them likes up, chat. Yeah, Sam. Yeah, if anyone could like the stream, that would be very helpful. Hello, Darren. How you doing, mate? How's business, Darren? Are you gradually catching up? I'd like... I don't know if you're still here. I was wondering if you'd be able to price something up for me. I'm trying to get a few quotes from different suppliers to see what to go for. I'm looking at potentially a Briggs & Stratton electric start, 21200, with all the gear. Turbo pack and all that sort of stuff. I honestly asked a customer if there's anything I can do before I leave, and she asked me if I could peg out her washing. No way. No, you didn't. You're at work. What are you doing at work this time of night? He wants a K2 with a 50 litre buffer tank. That's a pretty decent setup. Underrated. Oliver, welcome. Thanks for sharing your experiences so far. Great North, no worries, mate. It's great to hear from new guys just starting out. Yeah, so I think it's quite valuable to have Richard on to share his experience, because he's been, considering how recently he started up, it looks like it's going very, very well for him so far. It's not often where you'll start a new business and then you've got customers straight away. I mean, he's worked to get those customers, but it's a little bit, for me, I think it's unprecedented the amount of work he's managed to pull in. The Alpha A4 with high pressure hose reel attached. Sexy. A4. A2? Van mounted. Is it van mounted? Which one's the A4? Which one's the A4? Are you sure A4? Do you not mean A2? This one. And then you can get the hose reel mounted on top. Or is the A4 just not on the website? The A4 has got 4 wheels, hasn't it? I know the one. I know the one you're talking about. I think it's on their Facebook or Instagram. I've just realised you can't see what I'm doing. Is this the A4? Oh, that might be a good idea, you know. With the electric start though, not the pull start. Ooh. It's that one, but with the hose reel. I didn't think of that, having the hose reel attached to it. That one. That looks posh, doesn't it? I want it in orange. Darren, can you do orange? Sorry, the sound cut off. Darren, I think, can you price me up, please, for this, for an A4, Briggs & Stratton, 21200, electric start, as it looks here, please. The turbo pack. I don't need the surface cleaner, just the turbo pack. And I'd like a little 25 meter. Are you guys doing buffer tanks? I know you do the tower tanks, but are you doing wheelie bin buffer tanks? I don't just pick a random lads from the other trades with high standards in their work, easily transfer them. Oh yeah, fair enough. Show them what to do. Yeah, fair enough. Every time I watch one of your videos or tune into the live, I always walk away with info that helps me with my work. Ah, thank you for your channel. Keep up the work. Thank you so much. Is that I am Negan? Thank you so much. That's really kind. I've started using the 3M Bluetooth ear defenders. They're great, and you can take phone calls while working. Yeah, I like the. I've got some Bose noise cancelling headphones. I've got. They look like these. Oh, it's these ones. I got them. They weren't free, but I got them free with my upgrade, my phone. But they're a bit battered now. I need to change them. Which ones did you get? 3M Bluetooth earmuffs. Do they do orange ones? Something like this. Those do look nice, don't they? Orange. I liked the someone put a comment on my YouTube earlier saying you should get some walkie-talkies to communicate. Me and Jakey, like, while one of us is up the ladder or something, or one of us is on the front patio and the other one's out the back. Some little walkie-talkies would be good. Second hand as well, because he's tight. XTX Limited have the same idea. I also think because they are ear defenders, they look a bit more professional than headphones. Yep, that's a good point. XTX. I use AirPods under my ear defenders. That's a good idea. Yeah. Is that comfortable? I've been playing with starting up for a while now. Sit in the background of a lot of your videos and streams, taking in tips. I've learned a lot from you. Thank you, Dean. Thank you so much, mate. I appreciate the kind words. The customers have no idea I'm listening to music. Looking at buying a home right now. That's my priority. Maybe starting up spring next year when the season hits in again. Yep, not a bad idea. Yeah, maybe one thing at a time. That seems like a big step. They can tell by the fact that your brush is melting due to the speed of your sweeping the sand in. $1 million, Darren. Come on. You got to... I thought you'd be able to do me a smelty special. Very heavy for getting in and out of the van with the reel attached. Yes, but there's going to be 2 of us. So it's much easier than doing it on my own. And he's hench. He's absolutely huge. He goes to the gym like 6 times a week. Extra for you as you are YouTube famous. Smelty special, extra 30% on. I don't know what you're saying, Craig. I don't know what you're on about. He was replying to XTX Limited. What's XTX? I don't even know what that is. I don't know what you're talking about. What's XTX? Have I just... Is that gonna... Oh. Wait, what? What have I missed? I see. You've replied to XTX, who's also in the chat, but you said XTX have the same... I have the same idea. Okay, I missed that. I messed that up, didn't I? Me, you plonker. Have you seen the Amsterdam stone cleaners that clean patios with no water, just a brush? Amsterdam stone cleaner. Dauntless, welcome to the stream. Amsterdam stone cleaner. Do you mean like a Westerman? I think you mean a Westerman. I've just typed in what you've wrote there. Too much caffeine, yeah, true. Do you mean one of these? Or have I spelled Amsterdam wrong or something? Someone local to me has offered me to use their Westerman, which is nice. I've got some quotes that I need to do. Do you guys mind sticking around while I do them? I've got a list of things that I should be doing right now, but instead I'm streaming. The likes are shooting up. Let's go, chat. Free to do and an easy way to repay. There we go. Sam, I like you. Look at that for support. Did anyone see that reel shared on the Exterior Cleaners Facebook group where it was a surface cleaner with a vacuum attached to it? Yeah, so I think Equip to Clean do that. I think Rutland Pumps do it. I'm just not sure. Like, where's that hose going? Where's it going to send all the dirt to? You know what I mean? I like this song. I don't know what you'd call it. I have seen it before. Do you just hook it up to a vacuum and then empty the vacuum every so often? That seems quite labour intensive. Unless there's 2 of you. This thing. So you don't need a vacuum because it's doing that. It's similar to the mudsucker, I suppose, where it's creating like pressure. That would be a very weird experience, not putting down any water. Presumably it just sucks everything back up and redirects the water somewhere else. I mean, it's a very clever system, and I bet it works really well. And I bet it has its place on those patios where you've got terrible drainage. And you wouldn't have to use it on every job. It's a little bit more than the standard surface cleaner. I think the standard, it's a lot more actually, it's double the price. So the standard one's about 400 quid for the 18 inch. Oh, this is a 21. Do they do an 18? They do. So it's still about 326 quid more than the standard 18 inch surface cleaner, but that's an interesting product, definitely. They turn on the weekend and get the bulldozer brush and go. Did anyone see? I've read that. Got my first proper job on Saturday, 45 square meter drive, and was going to ask, I don't have an XJet or anything yet. I was going to hypo by hand. How much ratio of Nuclear Pro should I mix with water? Depending on the black spots and stuff, depending on if you need it, generally around about 5:1. So 1 part hypo, 5 parts water. So 1 litre of hypo, 5 litres of water. 2 litres of hypo, 10 litres of water. And you can just do that in a bucket with a soft brush and brush it onto the drive. It does take quite a while with a brush. The one thing I have noticed with a pump sprayer, if you're applying hypo with a pump sprayer, since speaking to Mike last week on stream or the week before from Pure Seal, I've been thinking more about evaporation with hypo and how if you're putting it on quite thin with just a pump sprayer, because it's got like a mist effect on the pump sprayer. If it's going on quite thin, it's not foaming up because it's coming through a pump sprayer. It's not the best way to get like a foamy finish on when you're applying it. I think the best way to get a foamy application is an XJet style applicator or a brush. If you're spraying it on the surface and sort of leaving it, it's going to evaporate quite quickly and it's not going to be as effective, even if you've got the surfactant in it. So I'd consider that. Search Terraza TMC kit. What are you getting me to search? Is this going to be rude? TMC kit. Ooh. Who's that? Oh, the notifications behind there, look. J-Rams, welcome. Look at these big things. What's that got behind it and why is it different to a Westerman? What's all this area here? Those brushes look cool. Does it do the same job? These pictures are trash. Oh, they're powered by a battery. What does it do? 6 grand. It's battery powered. Weedy brush. Hard surface geotextile fields without damaging the surface. Sounds like the same sort of thing then. Ooh. Look at this. This is an outdoor one. That didn't look like an outdoor machine. Oh yeah, Conrad, they're definitely being imported. So this is wet. So what's... I don't see the benefit of this over a flat surface cleaner, other than you don't have to put down... I mean, this would be good for agitating chemicals and stuff, but I don't think this is going to be a better finish than pressure washing, surely. Ideal for the professional gardener. What about exterior cleaners? I'm not convinced by that. It looks like a very old piece of equipment as well, don't you think? Is that like a tank as well? Is that like a water tanker but on top, so you can drop some chemicals in or drop some water down? Because you're still going to need to rinse this off, surely. Nah. Because what are you going to do with all that waste now? I'm sure this isn't the exact machine. So you're still pressure washing? It's got a beer there on the side, look. That seems pointless. That seems absolutely pointless. Because look, you're still creating just as much mess and you've still got to pressure wash it away. Seems slow and shit. That looks like a tank, like a water or a chemical tank. I still don't have YouTube Premium, sorry everyone. Looking to get one of these instead of a pressure washer, do you think it's a bad idea? I mean, you tell me. This one looks like it does a bit of a better job at actually cleaning the surface dry. As soon as you introduce a bit of water, you just end up with sludge. And at that point, you might as well be pressure washing. But this is very similar to a Westerman at this point, where it's just... I'd love to try one of these. Because it looks very, very effective. I'm actually always surprised at the finish you can get with a Westerman. It does look cool, doesn't it? Imagine doing one of them big tennis courts. They look cumbersome. They don't look easy to use. And the amount of cleanup there is, it's probably just as much cleanup as there is when you're pressure washing. You're just flicking crap everywhere, aren't you? Albeit it's dry. But it might, I mean, if it's a slightly damp day or even if it's raining, you can end up with sludge, aren't you? So, do you have to use these Westermans on a dry day? Just turbo it. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Just turbo it. Get it over and done with. You know what I mean? Gotta go. Ring me, you sexy beast. Miss you. Oh, Darren. You cutie. Been in and out around the streaming world a few years now. I know about metrics. Oh, you're trying to help me boost my little viewership. Up your bum. Craig, who are you talking to? I heard a lot of poor things about Equip2Clean. What's the general consensus on them? Let's do a poll in the chat. Let's see what people think. I'm just going to put Equip2Clean, good or bad. In your experience, not what you've heard, in your experience. Maybe what you've heard. I don't know. I don't know if there's a fair way of doing this, but... this will be interesting. I watched a video about the Equip2Clean Gorilla pressure washer, and they just pulled it out of a wooden box like it had been shipped in. Yeah, I mean, UK manufacturers or suppliers, they ship engines in, they ship pumps in. I think the difference you're talking about is this machine is like a pre-built one from potentially another country. Don't know how much of a difference that makes to build quality. Probably nothing, but we can steal the next 12 jobs while you're sat. Yeah. I think that's long enough. I'm so glad you posted that screenshot on the chemical sprayer instead of the X-Jet, because I need a new X-Jet and nearly cheaped out. No idea why I even thought about it, but yeah, thanks. Oh, about the Equip to Clean one. So someone posted on Facebook. This is nothing to do with me, but they posted on Facebook. About the chemical injector. And that's not to say that X-Jets don't corrode and rust, because they absolutely do. My X-Jet, after a month, the filter started corroding. The quick release thing on the bottom, the ball bearings start to stick, and that corrodes. It's what happens when you run harsh chemicals through them. The difference is the aftercare. It clearly says here it's been used 10 times, potentially not fit for purpose, and he's not allowed to return it. But I mean, with the dilutions that you can get with this product, I don't know what you're using it for. Is 6 to 1 or 9 to 1? What good is that to anyone? I don't understand. 6 to 1, maybe you can get away with using hypo. I think it's called a hypo injector. I'm not sure. I can't remember. But I'd be wanting to use hypo at a much lower dilution than that, personally. More like between 3 and 5 to 1. Do I need anything? Oh, Soph? Yes, please. Can I have another coffee? Another coffee, please, my love. She's being really nice to me today. What's going on? End poll. 77% of you say bad. 22% say good. 9 votes. Only 9 votes this time. So maybe people are keeping opinions to themselves on this one. Broke his trigger too. Yeah, my small trigger from Equip to Clean broke very quickly. I loved it as well. I thought it was great. I was using my X-Jet with that mini trigger, but that very quickly broke. Started just leaking out the back. Turbo seems faster and more efficient method. Yep. Yeah. Arm's going to be shot after an hour. Hello, Mishi.
Hello.
Why are you being so nice to me? You have never texted me ever and said, is there anything you need? What's going on? You've bought me beers. You've bought me M&Ms. You've bought me nerds. Is everything okay?
Got a bit watery towards the end, didn't it?
Yeah, it does. That's just the nature of ice as it melts. Someone's been spending. What do you mean? Where's the link to join your Discord? On that note, let's play a little advert, shall we, while you're all here? Hope you don't mind. It'll only take a minute. Here you go. Now, these videos take a lot of time and effort to film and edit, on top of trying to run a successful pressure washing business. If you find any of the information in my videos useful, then I'd like for you to consider becoming a paid member of the channel. Circle members and above will get access to my private Discord for members only, where you can pretty much get a hold of me 24 hours a day for inspiration, technical help, marketing advice, or just a general chat. I post pictures and videos that you won't see on any of my other socials. You'll be the first to hear about giveaways, special offers and announcements, and it's just generally a nice place full of like-minded people who are all heading towards similar goals. We've got various different experience levels. We've got a few professionals in the chat as well. If you want to push your business, in my opinion, this is the place to be. We also have 2 other membership tiers. One is just to show a bit of support for the channel, and the other one is for boosted members, which will not only give you access to the private Discord, but also loads of high quality promotional images for you to start your business. I know what it's like when you're ready to get going, but you don't have any before and after pictures to put on your leaflets. At the moment, there's about 150 images that you can use for pretty much whatever you like, and my intention is to constantly update these over the next few years with all of my before and afters that have helped promote my business. Last thing before I let you go, new videos come out every Monday night at 5:30, and then I go live at 7:30 to chat to you guys and answer as many questions as possible. We do live quotes for real customers and just generally keep up to date with everything going on in the pressure washing world. Thanks for watching, back to the video. Oh my god, that was horrible. Why is it so loud? Why is that so loud? Hello everyone, welcome back. Sorry about that. Let's have a look. What are we doing? Just trying to catch up on all my quotes and stuff. I'm going to send some screenshots to the Discord so we can look at these together. You'll have to bear with me for like just 2 minutes while I get this sorted so I can give you some visuals as to what I'm doing. My girl does that when she's been ordering stuff. That's so funny. What is this song? Okay. Let's put it in quotes. Let's actually have a quick look at the ones I've landed today. I think it might be useful to see. So the first one we went to visit today, which we discuss this sort of stuff all the time on the Discord. I've not been very active on the Discord this week because I've been so busy. This is the first job that I went to visit this morning, and it's a 48-meter block paved drive, and I'm measuring this with my Mosier stick, and I literally just send this to the customer. 42 square meters. Wait. Yeah, 48 square meters. Thank you so much.
Much ice. Did you hear me back?
I heard you bashing the ice, yeah?
I don't know how to get it. It's literally a whole... I don't get those bags. They're just whole blocks of ice.
You've got to get the ones... If they've been... When Aldi deliver the ice, if they've been sat outside the freezer for too long before they get downstacked, it melts and then they freeze it again. You've got to find the ones that are loose.
There's none loose.
Well, you need to complain.
It sat in the car for a
you
little
need,
bit,
you need to
melted in the car.
write a letter to Mr. Aldi.
Oh, it's Tesco.
Oh, well, that explains it. Thank you. No, I'm not going to eat on stream. I think people hate me for it if I do it. Thank you. Then we've got the Indian sandstone rear patio. I actually don't think she asked for the repointing, but I've quoted for it anyway. I'm pretty sure she never even asked for it. She just wanted pressure washing. But I noticed the joints were absolutely shot. So I've priced that up as well. That's 25 square meters, 26 square meters. And then there's this sort of path going down the garden. It's just a bit of block paving. And I thought, while I'm here, I've got the Mosier out. This would be quite impressive to map out this little area. And worked out to less than 15 square meters. So what I've done is I've put this, not that one, I've put this quote together. 48 square meters, literally just, I think I just timed that by 4 because it's block paving. My price per square meter is £4. 48 times 4, 192. 25 meter Indian sandstone wash. So I'm timesing that by 3.5, which works out at about 90 quid. So Indian sands, I wouldn't charge that if it was just the sandstone that she was getting washed. My minimum cost would be 125 quid. But because I'm quoting it along, I know she wanted the other work doing as well. I'm taking a chance that she's not going to say, can you just wash the patio for 90 quid? Because that would be a bit devastating. But I took a chance. There's stuff I could say to work around it to say it'd be this price, but if you go for all the work, it's going to be this price. But I couldn't be bothered at the time. And then the rear block paving, just the little bit that goes down the garden, 60 quid. And then I've offered this as an optional extra to do the grinding and repointing additionally. So on top of the cleaning, I can offer this service as well. Premium brushing and jointing compound, 285 quid. And she's gone for it. She said, I'll have all the work done. When can you fit me in? So that was a good one. Not a bad day's work. The next one that have accepted, partially accepted, they've not gone for the drive because they're going to do that themselves. It's only a farty little drive, but they want to do that themselves, save themselves a bit of money. And it's just this rear patio. There's a few different sections, so I don't think in future I'm going to use the Mosia on areas like this because it's quite small and I can sort of eyeball it. It's on the edge. It's on the edge of being, too small to bother getting it out the van. I've been wanting to play with it really, that's all. So I've got all the measurements from my Mosia stick. So the price per square metre that I'm aiming for the repointing is around about £15 at the moment. So I'm offering the wash at £90 for the patio, and then the repointing is £275. So altogether that's around about £15 per square metre. I'm just splitting it up so that the customer can see what they're paying for. Harry Hotter, thank you so much for joining. Welcome, mate. You're a new one. You're a new member. I need to change this notification here because you can't really see it very well. I'm going to do it. I'll do better next time, I promise. Coffee's kicked in. Let's go, boys. Quoting mode. Come on. So she's gone for just the patios on that one. Not a bad day's work. This one was a requote because she asked for an estimate. She gave me the address, and I think at the time I just wanted to do sort of like a quick and dirty estimate, and so I had a look on Google Earth, sort of roughly measured up, and it came out at about 100 square meters because it goes all down the side of the house as well. But she said, thanks for the quote, we'll get the cleaning done, can you book us in? We're going to leave the repointing because it's too expensive. So it ended up being over £1,000 for the repointing alone. And then she said, oh, by the way, I don't think it's quite 100 square meters. I think it's a lot less than that. I said, okay, no worries. If you want me to pop round, I can do a proper measure up and we can potentially bring that price down. And so after measuring up again, it actually turned out to only be 75 square meters. So that is the difference between not visiting the property, seeing it on Google Earth, and just sort of guesstimating. I could have overcharged. I mean, she accepted the clean. She accepted my price of it would have been 350 quid to clean it, and now the cost to clean it is 75 times £3.50. The cost to clean it is 262 quid. So she saved like 90 quid by getting me to pop round and do a proper measure up. So I adjusted the price for her, and in turn I also adjusted the repointing price because that works out cheaper as well because it's a smaller area. She's not accepted just yet. I think she's going to go ahead with the clean anyway because that's what she wanted doing mainly. But yeah, I've been quoting quite a lot of repointing work at the minute. So did my third paid job so far yesterday. Mossy tarmac, 40 degrees, wouldn't shift it at all. 25 degree got most of it. Would a surface cleaner do better than a nozzle? Would a flat surface cleaner do better than a nozzle? I suppose it all depends on the spread of the pressure and how much bar you're putting through those nozzles, how close you're getting to the surface. It's all variable. If you're doing it by hand, it's a much higher risk of leaving streaks and lines. It's difficult. I don't think I'd want to wash tarmac now by hand. I think I'd much rather do it with a surface cleaner. Because you can't tell until it's dry whether you've left streaks or not. It looks amazing all the time when it's wet. Every time I wash tarmac, you know, when it's wet, it looks stunning. And then there's times where there's patches that will start to dry out and you think, oh, I've left a couple of streaks there. And then the next day you come back and it doesn't look as good as you thought it did. Since switching over to the surface cleaner, I'm much more confident with tarmac now. Oh. What are you doing with the old hypo containers? I'm stockpiling empty ones. I don't want to home recycle them. I'm assuming down the skipyard. I actually paid to get rid of mine. I paid just a local waste collection guy to come and pick them up. I don't think it cost me much, but I was getting rid of some other stuff as well at the same time. I just took pictures of the barrels and what was in them. I told him I'd wash them out, and he'd give me a price to come pick them up. Pure Seal have just announced that they're picking up their own products. So if you've got any old chemical barrels from Pure Seal, you can get them to come and collect them for a fee. They won't collect anyone's, so it's got to be from them. Let's have a look at a quote that came through the other day. I have no idea how to price this, so I'm hoping some of you guys can help me a little bit, because it's quite an interesting job. Don't know if it's going to be a good one or not, but we'll have a little look-see. Harry Hotter, thanks again for joining, mate. Still need to get back to this person. So this one, these are stables. And he's going to be painting the gutters, all the woodwork on the outside of these stables. So everything you see here, the green, is going to get repainted. And it's basically just this all the way around. And then he wants all the insides of the stables washing as well. But this is just wood. This is just like what looks to me like chipboard. That it's just got like horse poo all up the side, and it just looks sort of scratched and stuff. I think it's painted industrial chipboard, industrial strength external chipboard. I'm guessing it's just going to need like a light pressure wash to get rid of any of the surface dirt. I don't know if pressure washing this is going to be good for it, because look at how warped some of these panels are, and the woods sort of, I can't tell if it's the wood or the paint that's flaking. I think it's a bit of both. They're all just sort of weather damaged. He wants all the cobwebs gone and all the little marks gone. I don't think he's too precious about it. It's just like a preparation before it's painted. And I'm looking at these drains here. There's drains going along the bottom. They look absolutely full to the brim of just dirt and just crap. It looks like part of the concrete. But I think once you take them up, you could potentially scoop them all out and get them free flowing again. So that would be an interesting job in itself. The wood is definitely swelling. Yeah, I don't know how much pressure washing is going to actually help this. But there's 3 of these stables. I've been waiting for a long time to pressure wash something like stables. I think it'd be quite an interesting job to do. And you get some good before and afters, but the before and afters are going to be rubbish on this, I think. And I'm not sure if he even wants the floors doing, but that'd be the best bit to do. When I'm thinking stables, I'm thinking like breeze block, breeze block painted stables. not wood, not like painted wood. I don't know. I think I understand the sort of thing he's going for. I understand the idea. I just don't know if it's the most effective way of cleaning it all. High pressure water. You know what I mean? Anyone got any thoughts on that? Not only thoughts on whether it's a good idea to do the job, but thoughts on how to price it. Let me read out the brief. Hi Jake, would you be interested in pressure washing my stable walls ready for repainting? Also a bit of pressure washing around the guttering. The stable portions go up to the roof. They are exterior grade painted plywood. Not too dirty, mainly cobwebs and dust. Some bird poo and small amount of horse poo to wash off. 3 stables total. See, this is the sort of job where I'd potentially look at like more of a day rate, because how do you price that work? It's just a bit of a weird one to even fathom. For me, that is. The other one that I'd like to do, I'll put it in quotes so we can have a look at it together. Bit of decking and a driveway and just a little path. So I went to see this one today as well. I did about 6 quotes today. So they don't want the posts cleaning. And I think this should come up quite nice, because the bits on the edges, I thought this was like stained or painted, but I think most of that has deteriorated, and this is literally just growth, just like algae. And there's a chance that this will come up really, really well. It is rotten in a few places. This one's a replaced panel here, so that's not necessarily the original. And then I've got the measurements, so it's only like 33 square meters, but decking always takes a really, really long time. I think people get it's a bit deceiving, because you think, oh, if this was block paving, or if this was like Indian sandstone or something, you could probably do an area like that in like half an hour. You could probably clean it and rinse everything down, and you'd be sweet with a surface cleaner. But on an area like this with decking, you've pretty much got to do it all by hand, following each panel all the way to the end. And I don't know if anyone saw my decking video recently, but it's not easy to clean. And it's probably not going to look great on the day. I think the biocide treatment afterwards is the bit that does most of the work. I've not got a set price for decking per square meter, but let's just play around with £4, which doesn't even meet my minimum charge really. But that could be a stunning before and after. So like, oh, it does. I could say 135 quid. That's a cheap decking clean, but including the poles as well, it's probably more like 35 square meters. They want the main poles doing, not all the bits in between, because they're all getting replaced at some point. But I think for the photos alone, it's worth winning this job, because it could look incredible. It's a very old deck. And then we've got the drive that I've cleaned before and I've stained. I've done one of those tarmac restorations on this drive. I think I've got a video of this one actually. Let me see if I can pull it up. I'm mixing coffee and beer here. It's a little bit weird. Which one is it? This one. How much pressure would you use on that wood? It's hard to say because it depends on what nozzle you're going to use, which sort of spread of nozzle you're going to use. I'd say probably around about 125 bar. I can't really give you an honest answer because I haven't tested it out enough. I've only recently got my my pressure gauge. So this is the drive, just a small tarmac drive. But this is the one that I painted. It's just gone very green now because it's had nothing done with it since this video was posted, which was a year ago. So yeah, it's gone green. Some of the weeds around the edges have come back, but nothing crazy. It wasn't as bad as it was before. So I did 2 coats of this. I think that was the first coat. Second coat in the opposite direction, so 90 degrees to the first. Look at that for attention to detail. Getting right in those corners. The other thing I explained, I haven't pressure washed. I haven't cleaned a drive after doing this to it. So I don't know how much of the colour it's going to strip away. And yes, I can lower the pressure, but it's a fine line between lowering the pressure and actually getting the moss up, and having a low enough pressure not to strip the old colour off. Because it might be that I have to stick a fresh coat of this on it, and it's not too expensive. It's I love doing this tarmac restoration. It's so rewarding, and it's like an instant transformation, and the customer's always over the moon with it. This, if anyone's looking to get into sealing, this would be the service that I'd try and offer first. And I've got before and after pictures in my boosted membership library that you guys can use if you want to start advertising this service. You don't need skill at all. You just need to understand the method. And I've got plenty of videos on it. So as long as you've got the correct equipment to do it, which is just a roller, you need the right roller really. Anyone can offer this service. As long as you've got good attention to detail, you can make most old tarmac drives look brand new. The ones that are starting to, where the aggregate's coming away, where the top layer has totally disappeared and it's crumbling and there's stones all over the drive, avoid those ones, because in that situation they need a new drive. So this one was particularly bad around the edges, which is why we used this cold lay tarmac and just bashed some cold lay tarmac into the corners. I'd never done that before, but this customer was happy for me to have a go. He said, you know, it's got to look better than it does now, and it did improve it slightly, but I'm not sure what I think of the cold lay tarmac just yet. But it was a good experience to do. You need a coffee? I'm good, mate. I've got my coffee on the go. I've got the beer on the go. Cheers, everyone. Has everyone had a cracking start to the week? I'm in quite a good mood today. Have you used Deck Clear Pro? No. We have a Deck Clean next week, and we're going to use the Max Clean Pro. Would like to do the next one with Deck Clean Pro, but it's pricey stuff. It is, and that's the issue with some of the Pure Seal products. You know for a fact it's going to get you the result. but do you want to spend the money? But at the same time, it's not you spending the money, it's the customer that's spending the money. So if you can price it into the job and just pass that cost on to the customer, then it's no more expensive for you than any other products. But the issue is trying to sell that to the customer, and you'll sell it with before and after pictures. And you can ask on the Pure Seal trade page on Facebook, you can ask, has anyone used Deck Clean Pro other than the ones that are already on the shop that you can find on the shop page? Has anyone used Deck Clean Pro and would be happy for me to send these before and after pictures to my customer? I'm sure you get some people that will send you over some photos. It's the pictures that sell the service for me. Not bad. A few quotes waiting on. I'm going to do another poll. I'm enjoying these little polls. For those of you that are quoting, how often are you landing your quotes? What would you call it? Like a turnover? It's not turnover. It's, what's the word? Conversion. Quote conversion rate. Success rate, yeah. I don't think there's any 100%ers in here, but let's, on average, what are we talking? I'm thinking mainly for patios and driveways. Oh, I can't add any more options. I'm going to take 100 out because I don't think anyone's got 100% conversion rate. I'd hope that it's within these bounds. Mainly patios and driveways, you know, decking, tarmac, all that sort of stuff. Less so on the roofs, because I think the conversion rate of roof quoting is much, much lower because people just don't understand how much it should cost. Let's start the poll. What's your conversion rate for quoting on average, would you say? And is anyone tracking it? Is anyone using software to track how many quotes they're winning versus the ones they aren't? Because I'm thinking this is something I should be a little bit more proactive with. But when you get quotes coming in and phone calls and texts and WhatsApp messages, putting those into a piece of software is always a bit of a barrier for me. That takes extra time. I don't have that extra time to sort people. If I could find a way of having them, my sister said this to me the other day, if you can find a way, like a contact form or something, where you can have everyone go through this funnel where they have to give you their name, their address, their phone number, email address, whatever, and you get all their details, and then it adds them onto, is it like a CRM system or something? And then you just tick a box to say they've accepted your quote or not. And then you've gained all these customers' information to keep forever, you know, to use however you want to use in the future. And you're also keeping track of your conversion rate and phone numbers, all that sort of stuff. I think that's the next step for my business, is trying to get a little bit more organized with that sort of thing. I wonder if my sister can actually help me with that, because she does a lot of that at work, I think, at the moment. Can you apply back 50 to wet decking or damp decking after cleaning? Lindsay, I do, and it worked very well. Wood is super absorbent compared to some surfaces, and so you can generally, as long as it's not absolutely saturated where it can't absorb anymore, if it's a decently dry day and it's not just pouring down with rain, then you can apply biocide on a damp deck. If you've got rain forecast in the next 12 hours, I would avoid it, because you're potentially just diluting or wasting that product. There's so much to learn in this industry. I agree. 3 out of 5 so far, 100%. £2 per square meter. Just got some portfolio jobs and rent money. Tracking it only against my ad spend. Yeah, I suppose you want to know your conversion rate if you're spending money on ads. Mine is 100% as my first customer agreed to the quote last night. Yeah, fair enough. Your email, Facebook, etc. all land in the same inbox. Your email, Facebook, etc. all land in the same inbox. What do you mean? Urban Detail. What does that mean? All the ones I lose are the ones I can't fit in the time they're happy to wait. If you're quick and hot on leads and you price well, I rarely miss a job. That's very fortunate. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to be said for getting to a quote quickly, being the first one there, impressing the customer, make it so they don't need to look anywhere else. We've got 30% of you say that your conversion rate is about 90%. 23% all say 80, 70 and 60. That's 13 votes. I don't know what I'm going to do with that information. I just thought it was worth asking. Currently using a portable, but thinking about mounting it. What are we talking about, Thompson? Would you recommend doing so? A bit worried I may come across a job with poor access and wish I'd kept it in the trolley. Thanks. What are we talking about, Thompson? A portable... Are we talking about a machine? You're using a portable pressure washer, but you're thinking about mounting it in the van. If you can... The portable machines are easier for those jobs that you need to access through the house. So how many jobs are you doing where you need to take your equipment through the house? Arguably, that's a little bit easier to go through with your equipment rather than trailing hoses. However, if you've got a long enough hose on your high pressure hose reel, there's no reason why everything can't stay in the van. I've got a 40 meter hose with a 10 meter extension, and I haven't found a job that I can't do with that yet in the UK. Most gurus say you should only win about 50% of your quotes. If you win all of them, you're too cheap. If you win none of them, you're too expensive. That's very interesting. I suppose, though, when you get to the level of being able to turn down work, you can't produce amateur work and aim for 50% because you're still at that growth stage. When you get to become a professional, I think that's when you can start aiming for 50% because your service level is higher than a lot of other people's. You're confident in your level of service, and you maybe don't have to advertise so much, so you can afford to turn down or to not win those jobs that aren't going to pay you very well. So if you're quoting high for every job, you're expecting to lose 50% of them. As a new business, I don't think you can afford to do that, really. You could build a Google form and link it to Google Sheets, and it will self-sort for you. You can make it tick or cross a box and change green or red automatically. Pretty easy to do. You could build a Google form and link it to Google Sheets. Google Sheets is like Excel, isn't it? So a Google form, people fill that out on the front end, and then they can click send, and then that information goes to my spreadsheet, and it adds it into... That's interesting. If you could... I'd like to look into that, actually. That might be more useful than a contact form on my website. So at the moment, I've got... God, I haven't looked at my website in ages. Almost forgot what it was called then. So at the end of every page, I've got a contact form where they can attach images and stuff. And this just comes through as an email, and then I have to respond to that person. But this is just like another way that people can get in contact. Whereas if I direct everyone to a form that they have to fill out, this will separate the people that aren't. This will separate the people that don't want to put in that extra effort to give me their information. I had someone the other day call me. He phoned me up and says, how much to clean a driveway? And I'm like, well, it depends on the size of the driveway. Well, it's about 2 cars. It's about a 2-car driveway. And I said, can I take the address, please? And he said, it's not my address. I was like, okay, I still need the address. And he said, it's in Solihull. Solihull's a big place. Can I take the exact address, please? And then he just gave me the some random. It probably wasn't even the right address. He gave me some address. No, he didn't. He didn't even give me the address. He said he'd text me the address, and then I never heard from him again. And so, either he's a competitor trying to find my prices, or he just wants to know if I'm cheap. He wants to, bare minimum effort input, and trying to get me to send him an estimate. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about people like that, but I'm not really interested in talking to them. They're not on my priority list of people to get back to. I build my own spreadsheets to store customer data. Great North. On Excel. And are you having to input that data yourself? Because that, to me, sounds very time consuming. To not only read the customer's message and respond and put a quote together, but also to then take all that information and input it into another system that just keeps hold of the data. Seems like a lot of effort. And if you're not in front of a laptop, that could be quite tricky to do. Do you know what I mean? If I could carry my laptop around with me everywhere, I might be able to do it, but it's just not feasible. How's the roof cleaning going, bud? You still doing it? South Wales, welcome. I've had a few quotes. Not particularly interested. Actually, I had a quote. I went out to a quote this morning, and the access was just horrendous. It was this. The front is okay, not too bad, although the drive does slope quite heavily. And then they've got this massive bush growing out of the chimney. Really, really mossy. The front isn't so bad. The side I think is okay because there's a flat roof behind this one. So it's not too bad. Still need to do some jiggling around with access equipment. But the back is just horrendous. It's like, how on earth am I going to either scrape or pressure wash this roof with this conservatory in the way? There's nowhere to get a cherry pick around. If anything, you'd have to get a cherry picker up and over the roof. But even then, you're still going to be dropping stuff on the conservatory. So you'd have to cover that with either boards or some sort of tarp. I don't know. It could potentially be a very, very tricky job, and I don't know if I don't even know if I want to attempt to quote it. Very mossy roof. Looks like there's already some damage to the ridge tiles. They've been replaced at some point. I don't think it's feasible to pressure wash this roof, just because of the condition it's in. But then scraping it, you're still risking dropping stuff through the perspex here. And how would you get up there to scrape it? You know what I mean? Could you scrape it from a cherry picker? Is that like something people do? I said to the girl, I'm like, this is an interesting challenge. I'm gonna have to go away and think about it. But she understood. She said the people who did the fascias and soffits, they've installed new gutters, fascias and soffits. They had to stand on boards. They had to put boards across the top of the conservatory and stand on it. and she said she can hear it creaking and stuff, and she doesn't want me to do that. So I don't blame her. Very tricky job, that one, I think. Unless anyone's got any good ideas. I'm not advertising roof cleaning. If there's an easy one, I've quoted a few. I've quoted some bungalows recently. If it's a decently easy one, then I'll take it on. It's not a problem. But Connor, welcome. How you doing, mate? Got my V stand off. Got my V standoffs for ladder. Should check them out if you ain't got them. Helps to go over downpipes or in corners. V standoff. Oh, I didn't know they did like a V one. That's cool, isn't it? That's a very good idea. I've never seen one of these before. That is interesting. Where can I get one? Amazon. Do these things work? These spring ones? Because I tried one on my little ladders and they didn't fit at all. They were just wobbling around and it felt so unsafe. Amazon TB tool station. I want ones that fully attach, not the ones that just sort of hang off the edge. So these don't look like they actually fully attach to the ladder, which seems too risky for me, personally. Parry Hotter, hi Smell, love your videos. What's your opinion on the app Bark? Is it worth the investment? I lost a job to Bark this week. Someone asked me for a quote, sent me their address, sent me some photos, and said, actually, don't worry, I've just accepted a quote from Bark. I was like, okay, good chatting to you. Lots of people say they get messed around on Bark quite a lot. It's like I think you pay per lead or something. And some of the leads are questionable. I think you've got to be really quick. What I've heard is stuff pops up on Bark and there's already like 10 offers on it or something. It's difficult to separate yourself. Has anyone else got any thoughts on Bark? Prompt Peak says, I got 3 big customers on Bark and lost the rest of my credits on Muppets. So it's give and take. Yeah, I mean, if it outweighs the ones that you're losing, it might still be worth the cost. The Nextdoor app has been helpful with Google Ads, reviews, help. Yell has been a pain in the rear. Yell peeps phones constantly. Yell people phone constantly. Cancelled them. Might work for others. Yeah, I think I signed up for Yell, or my brother signed me up for Yell one day, and they started phoning me, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not interested, thanks. And they wouldn't take no for an answer. They kept phoning back. Everyone else is saying the same thing. You did it on Excel, Grey North. Easy to update. I'd be interested in chatting to you guys about setting something like that up. When Yell ring, just tell them you've got a lot more work than you can handle currently and you're booked up for work. Oh, okay, that's a good idea. Ants Leicester fan channel. Welcome. Tower on the side of the conservatory. Easy work. Easiest tiles to clean. Tower on the side of the conservatory. Yeah, you can put a tower here, but like, and sort of reach across. I appreciate that it's possible. It's just you're gonna drop everything down onto the top of the conservatory. Then you're gonna have to like cover it all up and stuff. It just seems like a bit of a ball ache of a job. That's all. Looks a nightmare. That cherry picker. That's a cherry picker one all the way. How much are you charging per metre squared for roofs up your way? £10 per square metre down here. I'm at between around about £7 and £9 per square metre, I think, depending on the type of tiles it is. depending if I'm scraping or pressure washing. I don't know. I don't even know which one I'm pricing higher, scraping or pressure washing, because I hate scraping. But pressure washing's, the amount of cleanup there is afterwards is crazy. I think I just don't like roof cleaning. I'd tower on the corner so you can reach both the back and the side from one position. Stick a tower here, next to where this sofa is. Yeah, maybe. In the process of starting up myself, your channel has been so helpful. Thank you so much. I love hearing that feedback. Thank you, mate. eBay 20 quid. Makes no sense winning all of your quotes. Too cheap is all that means. In other words, you have left money on the table. Yeah. If they're fixed to the ladder, it means you need to get tools out every day, every time you want to work, every time you want to move the standoff. Do you need to move the standoff that often? I thought once it's on the ladder, surely once that standoff is attached to the ladder, why would you need to move it again? Do you know what I'm saying? Is that something you need to adjust? Do you have to adjust the standoff for each job? All roofs are a ball ache, to be fair. A shaped ladder are good for corners and all round the windows. What's the best solution for repointing a paver patio? Jointing compounds good to use. Michael, some people say traditional is best. Because it lasts a bit longer, so traditional like sand and cement. But even that fails after a certain amount of years. But the jointing compound, you've got to understand that it's designed to last like 3 years-ish. So as long as you tell the customer that and set their expectations, you're not going to get a call, you know, the next 2.5, 3 years saying, you know, all that stuff you put down, it's failed already. As long as you apply it properly and you compress it deep into the joints and actually fill those joints properly, because some people just brush it over the top and the joints aren't full, and that's where it will fail very quickly. And the first time they come to pressure wash it again, it'll fail. But I don't think there's a comparison. I mean, doing this is cheaper than traditional repointing, but if it's cheaper, it clearly, you know, it doesn't last as long, so it's difficult. Concrete paving slabs. Yeah, I mean, it depends what the customer's looking for. If they're looking for longevity, I probably wouldn't use any of these products. If they're looking for like the cheapest, quickest solution, then it might be a good thing to do. If you already have Excel, I could send you a blank sheet. You would just need to update it yourself. I mean, Great North, are we talking literally just columns? Name, address, phone number, and you have to go in and manually add the customer's details. I like what Matt was saying about having a Google form that the customer fills out and then that automatically adds to your spreadsheet. That sounds much more appealing to me than actually going in and inputting that information myself. What would you recommend? It depends what the customer wants. I don't offer traditional pointing because I'm not skilled in that way, and that's more like a landscaping sort of thing. I've been considering recently learning traditional pointing and directing the business more towards specialist patio restoration, because now that I know how to clean patios, pretty much all types of stone I know how to clean now and apply chemical treatments to and seal if I need to, and now I understand what's involved in grinding out all the joints. Next, I think I would like to learn how to relay wobbly slabs, properly and learn how to point them traditionally, because some customers, the customer I had today, this customer I had today, they said they use the brushing stuff themselves and it always just fails and comes out. And there's a good chance they're not applying it as well as I'm applying it, because I understand that you've got to really compress it into the joints, and that's how you make it last a bit longer. But a lot of customers will say, I don't want that cheap resin stuff. A lot of customers say that to me, I don't want that cheap resin stuff. And I have to say, look, that is the stuff I use, but I know how to apply it properly so that it lasts up to 3 years like advertised. So I think the next step for me would be to learn how to traditionally mix sand and cement, and maybe a bit of lime into it as well to make like a harder, stronger mix. The bit that scares me is getting stains all over the patio, getting mortar stains all over the patio, and that I've just cleaned, and ruining a perfectly good patio. That's the bit that really scares me. That's why I've not offered that service yet. But with brushing in the jointed compound, it's just decorative. It's not designed to hold slabs in place. So if you've got wobbly slabs, that brushing jointing compound, as soon as it sets hard and the customer walks on that slab and it wobbles, it'll pop all that jointing compound out and it'll just crack it. And so you've got to say to them, if you've got any wobbly slabs, this product is probably not suitable until you've had that slab reseated. However, if I use the traditional method, it does offer much more structural rigidity. So you could get away with, if you do have any slightly wobbly slabs and you use traditional sand and cement, it would keep it in place much better than the jointing compound. So that's another benefit to it as well. It's not only going to last longer, but it's going to keep all your slabs in place. Did you do any competitor analysis before starting your business, market saturation, etc.? Looking to start on the side, but worried about finding the work in my local market. Sam, that's a good question. Not necessarily, no. I just saw it as, this is how much I could potentially charge per job. This is the initial outlay that the equipment's going to cost me. I'm going to try it for 6 months, or I think I said I was going to try this for 12 months and just see what sort of money I can earn. And within that 12 months, I got a good gauge of, I've never committed hard to anything in my entire life. And so I thought, I'm going to commit to this for 12 months. And this is going to be my new thing for the next 12 months. And I'm going to focus all my energy and attention on it. And that gave me a really good idea of how much I could potentially earn. It wasn't a case of seeing how many other businesses there are in my area and trying to get stats from online stats from how much you can earn as a pressure washing business. I wasn't interested in all that because I'm different. I know any business that I make is going to be different to someone else's business. I'm going to do things differently. So I'm not really comparing myself to, market saturation doesn't bother me at all, because that's why I'm trying to help people start up, because I'm not concerned about competitors. I don't care. There's people in my town that I've helped start up, or that I've certainly inspired, old friends from school and stuff. The form can be done so easily and linked to your website. You just tick a box manually from your phone when you net the job and do it, and then set it to auto tally the conversion between them. Matt, I'd be very interested in jumping on a call with you at some point to show me how to do that, if that's okay. That'd be very handy. You should really just use a proper CRM if you want to track it all properly. One with emails, SMS marketing, book reminders, follow-up notifications. It gives you all the metrics, etc. Connor, I understand. My issue with doing that is once you've subscribed to a service like that, all that data becomes theirs. Whoever runs that service Once you're inputting all that data, is there any protection? Say one day you decide that you want to switch services, or that you don't want to use a CRM system anymore, or that it's become too expensive for you every month, and you want to turn off that subscription. What is stopping that company holding on to all that data, and you've got to start again from scratch? Do you know what I'm saying? That's my issue, is signing up to any sort of subscription service that has all of your customers' info, because it doesn't belong to you anymore, it belongs to them. Unless I've got it wrong in my head. Unless there's a feature where you can export all the data and move it to somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? GDPR, and it's all exportable and importable to other softwares. Is it a ball ache? Do they make it a faff? Because it's all well and good saying it's a feature and you can do it, but you know, when you sign up to something and then you can't find the unsubscribe button because it's deep within the settings somewhere. Is it that sort of thing? Have you tried? And again, like, I don't want to, if there's something I can set up to automate it myself, where I don't have to pay a subscription service, again, I'm super tight. And I think people have gathered that by now, that I don't like subscription services. I don't like spending money every month unless it's something I want to do. If I can now, I'm sort of buying stuff outright unless it's for the business, and it sort of makes sense to, you don't want to spend liquid cash on these big purchases all the time. West Coast External, welcome. I'm doing well, mate, thanks. How are you doing? Don't worry about your competition, just do an excellent job and you'll gain work on your own merit. The same goes for pricing. Totally agree. Yeah. Because not everyone is doing work to your standard. So you can look at sort of generic numbers. I don't think it tells the full story. CRM systems are great. My family company uses it. I can ask the office which one they use and let you know. Thank you. That'd be useful, Sam. I know my sister's workplace use one as well. I use Tradify. I spent ages setting it all up and getting my customers set up on there. Then they almost doubled the price this month. Too much hassle to move and set it all up again. This is what I'm saying. Once they've got you, they can do whatever they want to the price, and it's too much effort to then go somewhere else. It just seems like a trap. Seems like quite an obvious trap. What's the limit of how far you would travel for a job? Is it dependent on the size of the job? Generally, I'm working within like a 30-mile radius. I will only travel outside of that area if it's a big enough job and if I can price travel into it as well. I'll say to the customer, you're outside of my area, so I'm going to charge you for travel. Is that okay? And so when I send the breakdown of the price, I put travel 60 quid, travel 90 quid, whatever it's going to be. And then it's up to them if they accept it or not. And then it makes it worth the day. And I'm not only pricing in the fuel. It's very important to remember, I think, that your travel isn't just fuel. It's time spent in the van that you could be doing other stuff. So what value do you put on your time? You could try and work out an hourly rate and say, oh, this is how many hours I'm going to spend in the van, get into this destination. I've got to make it worth my while, as well as fuel, as well as wear and tear on the van. You know what I mean? Super cheap. Did you check the Bowser I made? Where did you put it? Is it in photos? I'm sure I've seen it. I've not been on Discord that much this last week. I've just said I've been so busy this week, and I hate seeing all the notifications and just not having time to read stuff and look and respond to everyone. This is only very temporary. It's just, I'm sure most of you know, like, in Discord, Blue Beauty. Did you name it Blue Beauty? I'm going through pictures now. Did you put it in the right section? Prompt peek. Is it in the correct category? I'm looking. I'm not seeing it. I'm seeing barbecues. I'm seeing Mosers. I'm seeing beers. I'm seeing before and after pictures. No, that's not it. No, mate, I'm not seeing it. Equipment, of course. That was going to be my second choice. This is the bit that I adjusted, look. That little screw down there on the side allows you to move that bearing case up and down. Change the height of the bar. Is this it? Blue Beauty? £40 for a wheelie bin from B&Q, free delivery. That's amazing. £40 for that wheelie bin with free delivery. That's an incredible price. Is that a high flow float valve? Because if it's not, you might want to consider changing that. I like the way it goes into the top there. That's pretty cool, actually. And you've put this on the side. If I remember correctly, you put this on the side so that the fitting doesn't get damaged. If you put it on the front, it's sort of exposed. When it's in the van, it's sort of flopping around, and there's a chance that could get hit and snap the fitting. But you've put it next to the wheel to sort of reduce the chance of that, which I think is very clever as well. Ideally, you'd put it behind the wheels, but I don't think there's space. I think the lowest point is here, because there's like a curve that goes around the bar at the back of the wheels, so I don't think you can actually fit it to the back at the lowest point that you'd want it. That is a blue beauty. A blue beauty. She's stunning. She's amazing. Do B&Q do other colours of bins? Oh, I've lost it. What is this video? What have you recorded this video on? That is the worst video I've ever seen in my life. This is like when someone sees a UFO. I expected to see a little alien pop his head out of that bin then. And then this clip goes viral. Filmed on a potato. That is terrible, mate. Your bin looks great though. 10 out of 10 bin. Actually 8 out of 10, because I don't think this is high flow. Biggest spud I could find. Can you recommend any good places in London area to purchase pressure washers and equipment? No, sorry, I don't know anyone. No, I don't know anyone that's near London. You can get good equipment from places like Rutland Pumps, PWS, AC pressure washers, and have it delivered. Haters gonna hate. Problem with CRMs is there isn't one out there that's fully set up for everything you need. So you have to use different ones. For my accountancy, I use a CRM, but it's specific to accountants, so it has all I need. Yeah, because you're doing accountancy as a business alongside a very successful pressure washing business by the looks of it. And to try and find something for everything must be very difficult, but you are asking a lot of a software to be good at everything, to be fair. I was thinking of designing an app for my quoting tool, but to have everything I want in it, to have all the integrations, just some simple things like forwarding a PDF, so the calculation that comes out at the bottom with the price and the breakdown, just being able to set that up so it forwards a PDF to your customer or saves it to your phone or whatever, that is so difficult to code for someone who's not experienced in coding. And that's just a very, very tiny feature. And then I'd want to be able to save customer details and stuff. And then it's like, well, what about when the app updates? How do you store that data and make sure it transfers over to the new version of the app? And then what happens? Where does that data get stored? Because if it's stored on the phone, the next time they sign in on a new device, all that data is going to be lost. And then the other thing is, there's lots of issues that I could foresee happening with all that important data that the CRM system holds. It's very scary to handle that much data. That much important data in something I've designed. So I don't think it's feasible for someone like me to even think about doing on a bigger scale. It's very easy to make a calculator, but I want it to be more than a calculator, but I just don't think that's achievable for me. Good for everything exterior cleaning, but not both. I see what you're saying. Do you use a rocket wash twin lance, or have you, considering the purchase? No, I've seen them. How do you spell lance? What the hell? Specky. I saw this on YouTube, I think. On Facebook. Yeah, I've seen it. I just don't know if it'd be useful for me.
Is here from Easy Jet Wash. So I had this video about the twin lance and how good is it to use it on the job. So basically you can turn up down the pressure on this one. See, it's full pressure. Doing cleaning, you blast all the shit.
So that's gonna need a really strong chemical treatment. He's using the turbo that close, and the patio still looked crap after he cleaned it. But that's just the nature of some of these concrete patios that you come into contact with that just haven't been cleaned in ages. That's gonna need like a decent amount of hypo on it.
You blast all the shit on the wall, yeah, and you can open it. As soon as you open it, it drops the pressure down, yeah? See? Even, look at that. You can make a quick rinse anytime. It's really great. Same principle with the fan nozzle. When you're just washing the dirt off on the end and you blast something on the wall or something, it's far better when you take off the pressure a bit, yeah? And it's far more easy to rinse it down. Very simple.
I don't understand what's happening there. Is it that twisty firkin? Is that taking the water from the turbo and just redirecting it to the fan lance, or is it spreading it out across both nozzles? Because it looked like it was just spreading it across both nozzles, but I guess if he hadn't twisted it all the way, then not all the water had the chance to move across. If he's twisted it halfway, it's split between both. And I like, don't know if it's very useful or not, but I like the way he's got that turbo with the little protector around it. I don't know if it makes sense with the turbo nozzle, but it looks cool. Steve, welcome. How you doing, mate? You've missed nothing. You've missed 3 hours of nothing. When are you going Steam? When Darren invites me back over. Have you seen the steam pressure washers with vacuum systems? The steam pressure washers with vacuum systems? No. Do you have a name that I can type into YouTube that I can see that? When you say a decent amount, is that multiple treatments, stronger dilution, or a mix of both? Both. It'll be pressure washing it, chemically treating it with a strong mix, probably doing a light surface clean over it again, and then keep upping the dilution ratio until you get good results. But that one's going to be quite, I'm sure that one was quite difficult to clean. You don't want to go in neat straight away, because it might be that like a 5-to-1 mix clears all the black spots. If you go in neat straight away, it's just like a waste of product. I very rarely have to go in neat. I can't remember the last time I did, actually. But there have been occasions where I've had to go like 1-to-1. How come you were down in London? This chap found me on TikTok, or his wife found me on, yeah, I think his wife found me on TikTok. And I had them booked in, I think in January, and he sent me a deposit of £150. And because we were doing that post-biocide treatment, and then we had nothing but rain for about 2 months, I kept having to say, to give you the best value for money, I don't think it's a good idea that I come down now, because that biocide treatment, if it rains, it's just going to be a waste of product, and I'm charging you for it. And so, one, I want it to work, and two, if I'm putting it down, you're paying for it, sort of thing. So do you want to postpone? And he said, yeah, no worries, that makes sense. So we postponed it the first time. I ended up postponing it another 2 times because of the weather. And I kept saying, like, I'm happy to send your deposit back, because I know it's not your fault, it's not my fault, it's just circumstances. The weather's been terrible. And it's not only that, it's when you've got a fairly full calendar like I had, 3-4 weeks booked up in advance. Every time I had to postpone it, I couldn't just fit him in next week. I had to fit him in another month away, because I had no gaps in between. There's no space for me to just drop a job that's 2 hours away in. It's quite a big job, you know what I mean? So we ended up postponing it 3 times, and I said, like, I'm really, really sorry, there's nothing I can do. I'm happy to send you the money back. And he said, no, I'm happy to wait. We'll just book it when it's drier. But I'm guessing he's just seen my work on TikTok, and he just wants me to do it rather than getting someone local to do it, which is very flattering. And I hope we served him well. I hope it was worth it for him. I think it was. We had decent results. What pressure washer and surface cleaner would you recommend to start with? Mainly for block paving, patios, budget of £1,200 to £1,500. Your budget is sort of on the lower end to include a surface cleaner. I'll be honest, Cameron. Welcome to the stream, by the way. So the sort of machine that I'd recommend for anyone, it's a really easy one to recommend, is something like this Alpha A2 with a turbo pack. But you're looking at 1,800 quid plus VAT. So that comes with the hose, that comes with the turbo nozzle for the block paving. All the nice bits that you want on it, basically. If you're looking for just a ready to work pack, 1,700 plus VAT, it makes sense to spend the extra and go for the turbo pack. You could probably get this cheaper if you don't go for the electric start. It's coming down in price slightly. Failing that, you could go for a 15 litre per minute machine. They've just let's have a look at these guys. So this is out of your price range really, but this is a 15 litre per minute machine. Because it's not just the machine that you need. If you want like a decent 15 litre per minute machine, you're going to need a buffer tank with it as well. So that budget is sort of stretching a little bit. PWS have just started supplying a Hyundai that's, I think, £1,000. Where is it? There it is, sorry. 15 litre per minute. 835 plus VAT. And that is a good starter machine, I think. That's going to do that's going to do pretty much everything that I can do. Maybe not as quickly. And the fact that you're buying it from a reputable manufacturer, a reputable supplier, not just Amazon, it means they'll be able to actually get parts for it as well. The issue with some of the Hyundais that you're going to buy from Amazon is that you can't take them anywhere to service them. Hi Andy, how you doing, mate? A max of £2,000 for all. Do you think it's worth spending the extra for a GX390? Absolutely. If you can afford to get a GX390, it means you won't have to upgrade for like the next 5 years potentially. Whereas if you buy something like this, you might be feeling like in a year or two that you might want to upgrade to a GX390 and get like a 21 litre per minute pump. But you might not. You might be perfectly happy. You certainly, I mean, the pumps that come with, let's have a look at the A2 again. The GX390, 21,200 with the turbo pack, 1,700 quid plus VAT. That would be the one that I would personally go for, something like that. I think you'd want the turbo pack though, which is going to put the price up a little bit. But for a similar price, 1,810 plus VAT, you can get the electric start Vanguard for an extra 80 quid, 90 quid. Do you guys think an electric start is more reliable or less chance of failure than a pull start? I'm always nervous with a pull start that you're either going to snap the wire or something's going to lock up inside where it's just going to fail. Whereas I think with an electric start, you've always got the option. I think you've always got the option to still pull start it, but you've also got the. I think an electric start's more reliable personally. It's saving that action of potentially breaking something. I feel like I'm always going to break something every time I pull a machine for some reason. Does anyone else get that feeling? If you're looking for a surface cleaner, Cameron, for block paving, I would probably not bother. In my experience, I've got to do a video about this because I need to get other people's opinions. Is anyone in the chat? I know someone's going to shout at me. Is anyone in the chat getting weed-free results using a surface cleaner on block paving? Can anyone say with confidence that they can wash and clear all the weeds on block paving with a flat surface cleaner? Because if you can't, I would say if you're on a budget, don't bother with a surface cleaner just yet. I mean, Rich, we just spoke to Rich earlier, and he's just started. And the reason he's just purchased a surface cleaner is because he played with mine on a patio the other day, and he's been doing a lot of big properties, and it would literally cut the time it takes to do a rear patio in half, probably more than half. But you're not going to get results on block paving, so if that's what you're buying a surface cleaner for, I'd probably hold out. How would the Hyundai compare to the JCB model? I think it's the same unit. I think Darren said it's the same unit, or at least the same pump. I'm not sure about the engine. Could this be started on a smaller pressure washer from the boot of a car, upgrading when the income allows, or would you recommend saving enough for a bigger machine? Sam, if you've posted a link, I can't see it. Could this be started on? Do you mean just a business? Could a pressure washing business be started from the boot of a car? I did. I started with my little. I posted about it the other day. I started with a little Parker brand machine, from the boot of my girlfriend's Toyota RAV4. Went and picked up my old machine today. This is where it all started, 3 years ago. I've gone from this to this in 3 years. This was, I think, 11 litres per minute, compared to this 30 litre per minute pump. Should probably put some fresh fuel in it. This fuel's been sat in there for about 2 years. I remember now, this is an old shoelace because the pull cord snapped. That's crazy. First start in about 2 or 3 years. I'm so happy. It's bringing back so many memories. So I started with that in the back of my girlfriend's Toyota RAV4. And because it's only 11 litres per minute, it means I can plug it straight into the customer's tap and don't have to worry about like a buffer tank or something. After my experiences, I'm getting an electric start and going Vanguard engine. Really? Turbo only for me on my setup anyway. On block paving, are we talking? Yeah. Don't you have a GX630? Yes, I do. Unless it's really dry or loose and pressure is good, but 90% of the time I need a turbo. What about if you were to like biocide the area or apply weed killer on the whole drive a week before using the surface cleaner on it? I wonder if then everything would be sort of dry enough to remove. I would never have tried it, but I've seen somebody use it. Even with the bar close to the ground, he still had small weeds in places. You see all these YouTubers using surface cleaners on block paving all the time and then going over it again with the turbo nozzle. I'm just thinking, it seems like a massive waste of time. I don't get it. I'm midway through editing a video of my experiences doing that, because I'm still not quite convinced. No worries, Cameron. I hope it helped. But I use it for my Indian sandstone to get off chemicals, so it has its use. Yeah, for the surface cleaner. Yeah. Water recycling pressure washer. Let's watch this video just after. I'm just going to nip to the toilet. Is that all right? I will be back in just a second. Here's a little advert for you. I've made a new advert. Look, watch this. I'm just going to take a short break to talk about Moja, who have kindly sponsored this video. As some of you guys already know, I like to quote all of my jobs based on a price per square metre for each different surface type. In the beginning, when I was pricing up driveways and patios, I used to just take a tape measure with me. Not only do I think that looks a little bit unprofessional, but I also think it falls apart when you want to measure any kind of curved area without being some sort of maths genius. Then I gradually switched over to Google Earth, but I found myself constantly questioning the accuracy in the measurements. And also, most of the time, the images were too shadowy or blurry to get a decent view of the area. One of my landscaping friends recommended the Moja 1 to me because he said it's way more accurate than any of those other methods, and it was speeding up the time it was taking him to put these quotes together. The Moja 1 literally measures down to the millimetre, and you can quickly plot out any shaped driveway, patio, steps, curves, walls. I've not come across one thing that it hasn't tackled yet. It's been a few weeks since Moja sent this out to me, but in that time it's completely transformed my quoting workflow. You can save multiple measurements to specific project folders, and I've been emailing the PDFs from my phone directly to the customer. You guys know I only work with suppliers who I think are going to benefit my audience, and I couldn't think of a better product to streamline the quoting process. It's so simple to use. If you'd like to try the Moja 1, head to moja.co.uk and use my code X8SMELTS to get £20 off your order. Link in the description. 71 square meters.
That's mad.
Sick, innit? It's so accurate, and you can like see it in 3D space as well.
So good.
Look at that. So you can see the fall off. So say if you've got like a driveway that's sloping in, and you're not sure when the water's going to flow.
No way. So it's picked up the steps. It's picked up that little bit. Mate, that is sick.
Hello everyone. What did you think of that advert? Was it good? Moja seemed to be happy with it. So that's positive. Hello. You right? Oh yeah. I don't think I'll be long. See you soon. Game changer. I hate that phrase. It's so overused. Recycling water from power washing. Waste water reclamation and runoff. Another shiny new toy I need to buy. Great advert. Thank you. Your Parker brand has was £209. That is so cheap. Mine was £305 when I bought it, and I thought that was cheap. 3 jobs and it's earned its money back already. Cheap quotes. From now on, it's profit minus petrol. That's awesome. Is this the video you want me to watch?
The Vax call.
Shh. Is that a pump? It's like a 12-volt pump putting the water back.
We have 10 guys here. We're in St. Cloud. We brought 2 trucks, 2 trailers, and a car. A couple of the guys are pretty big. And we are cleaning a parking ramp, a bunch of windows, a couple of staircases, and this dock here. Now in this particular situation we are reclaiming the water, so we're pumping the water from there into the back of this truck. And James is using a direct impact cleaner with 14,000 cleaning units. That's 3,500 psi at 4 gallons a minute.
Did you hear that calculation of cleaning units? This is something one of the early members of my channel introduced me to. So if you're cleaning at 15 litres per minute at say 250 bar, your cleaning power is 3,750. And this is a really good measure to compare different machines. If you're on the market for like a new machine, try and work out the cleaning power. And it'd be nice to have a chart actually. Ooh, I think Prompt Peak is the perfect person to do this. Prompt Peak is really good at making like visual diagrams and stuff. But on one, you know, you got like a chart, like a graph or whatever. You have liters per minute and then bar, and then times them by each other, and then you get the cleaning power. And then everyone will be able to see, like, you'd be able to really quickly compare machines as to which ones are better.
And then when he's done scrubbing it, he'll turn on the heated power washer. That turns the water temperature up 150 degrees over ambient. So your temperatures will be pretty close to 200 degrees. And that'll help get rid of the rest of the grease and oil that the Amzyne didn't do. But you can clearly see here, he's going over an oil spot. Look at that. He's got to go over this a couple different times, and then we'll actually go over it with the heated one with the wand. So we should get most of the surface oil out. You see some of that oil there has been there for years and it's penetrated the concrete. But all the surface oil is gone, and we'll get more of it out with the heated.
The Moja's already on the Christmas list. Game enhancer.
651-7.
That could be the new way to go. Instead of game changer, it's a game enhancer.
Healthy people.
Okay. Was this the video you wanted me to watch? You can't post links in this chat, unfortunately. Sorry. Is it this one? I can't tell what's going on here. This looks like a lot of kit.
Now we have an adjustable height. The reason for that is I put the wash fan, I want to bring it up a little higher so we don't cut the mat up. So I'm going to kind of put the corner here. This is the sample wash mat. We've got some heavy greasy items.
I don't understand what's going on. So he's sucking that water back into... I mean, it's fine if it's clean to reuse this water. But it's not going to be clean, is it? And you're going to clog up your filters real quick if you're sucking up mucky water. A game alterer.
It's a pretty clean application here. I don't have a lot of dirt and oil and grease. But it's mainly for light oils. This filtration system in here.
It's got a whole filtration system.
Got some microfibers. I'm going to show you the next machine here. But and you saw it pumping out there. I can also turn the valve so it comes back to the water tank for water. We can also do this trailer where we have two, say, 230-gallon tanks, where I can have one for gray water and I can have one for clean water rinse. And I just turn the valve and you go to clean water rinse. Right now, with the single tank, I set the trailer up with a 3A ball valve, of course it's on the float tank, where I can connect the garden hose to it for my fresh water rinse. I use my direct
This just seemed a bit of a waste of time. I understand green, you know, being green, and if you can repurpose your water, great, but that looks like a lot of extra expensive equipment just to repurpose dirty water. I don't know. Oh, Discord. My bad. My bad. Where are you posting it in the Discord? Oh, you've messaged me. Sorry, mate. Oh, we spoke about the vacuum. Yeah, we spoke about these earlier on. Equipped to clean cell one.
Very interesting product to show you here today. Your pressure washer people recognize this as a flat surface cleaner attachment for a pressure washer. So this doesn't clean by itself. You have to attach it to a pressure washer. And what it does, if you don't know, basically what happens is you attach your high pressure water line to the top. High pressure goes down the hose to the housing.
I agree,
This
Hooper.
one turned
It's already been
upside down,
working
so
for me,
I'll show you how it
definitely.
works. And the high pressure comes through the pipe and to these two heads, and they're at a little bit of an angle, which forces them to spin around in a circle, kind of like a lawnmower. And so it does a cleaning pattern as you walk along, just kind of like a lawnmower. Now, normally that's where it stops, but as you can see, this one's got a little bit of extra stuff on the front. And what that is that...
I think we've already deciphered this. Hi, mate. Sorry, I missed your message, David. First time watching your stream and have been thinking about starting business for a while. Saved up $2,000. Thinking about waiting until next year and doubling that total. Is that smart, or would you start straight away? If you wait until next year, you might be in a totally different position and you might not even do it. I think there's an amazing video that you should watch. I might pull it up now actually, because it's incredibly inspiring, and it inspired me to start. Let me know what you think of this video.
What is up, everybody? My name is Justin. This is Forever Self-Employed. In today's video, we are going to be talking about why starting your business in the spring is a terrible idea and why you should never do it. But before we get into that, I do want to show you guys something cool that I've been working on. I've been playing around with this hard close strategy with regards to running Facebook ads, and it's helped me close a bunch more jobs.
By the way, if you haven't already, subscribe to Forever Self-Employed on YouTube. Fantastic.
Some people are hot, some people are cold, but I showed this exact hard close strategy in the last Inner Circle call that we did. I showed examples of it. I showed 3 different people that I had closed through text message that equated over $10,000 in jobs. And you guys know we land big jobs because I'm showing you guys all the time on the channel. But if you want to see the exact hard close strategy, as well as be able to copy word for word what I'm texting in these messages to convert people through Facebook ads, check out the first link in the comment section and the description. Since the call, a bunch of guys have been killing it. One guy landed a job that was over $700 using the hard close method. Another guy landed 2 jobs. One was $500. So like I said, if you want to learn, first link to the video. So why is spring a bad time to start? I know what you guys are probably thinking. Justin, you're an idiot. Spring is when everything picks up, when we start landing jobs, when the phone starts ringing, when, you know, everything is going great. Well, I'm not talking about spring, the time of year. I'm not talking about February, March, April, May. I'm using spring more as a metaphor. Spring is the time when everything is convenient, when everything falls into place, when you have your equipment, when you've watched enough videos, when everything is going to go perfect. If you haven't started your business yet, you're probably waiting for spring to start. You're waiting for the right time. Therefore, right now, you're in winter. Because if you're not in spring, you're in winter. You know, winter's cold, winter's harsh, nothing's growing, it's hibernation time. You stay inside because that's where it's nice and warm. And your mindset's like, when I get this piece of equipment, I'll be ready. When the weather gets right, I'll be ready. When I watch a few more videos, I'll be ready. When I quit my job, I will be ready. The problem is that
This resonated so hard with me when I was looking at starting my business. When was it posted? 2 years ago. I was like in the process of, I'd bought my little Parker brand machine, and I was thinking of like leaving my job. And I was thinking, when I get to this next stage, I'll be ready. When I've saved enough money, I'll be ready. When I've got enough work booked into my calendar, I'll be ready. And I think that's wise for like leaving your employer and going full time into a business. But when it comes to actually having an idea and starting up, this one resonated with me so much.
It's always winter. It'll never be spring. And that's why I wanted to make this video. You literally have to make your own spring. And I'm going to tell you guys an example of how I created my own spring. And this doesn't just include people who are just starting, right? We're all in winter. We all have things that we know we need to do, but we put them off for another time. Things that would grow our business, things that could make us more money, things that if we did them and we didn't wait would probably even change our lives. If you're waiting for the stars to align and the feeling to be right and for the approval of those around you, you will never get started. You'll never do the things that are going to push the needle, the things that need to be done, the things that are going to create change in your life, right? We all have these things. I'll give you guys an example of what my winter was. I always wanted to make this YouTube channel, the YouTube channel that you're watching right now. I wanted to document the journey years before I actually did it, but I let excuses get in my way. I said, well, you know, I don't really have a good camera, so I need to get a good camera. And then it was like, well, I don't really have the right computer for editing. And then like, what software am I going to use for editing? I'm not even sure how to edit videos. And what am I even going to make videos on? What am I going to talk about? Who's going to want to even listen to what I have to say? What do I really even know? And what are my friends and family going to think whenever they see me making YouTube videos, like talking about things that I'm doing? That was my winter. My winter was the battle between the thing that I wanted to do, the thing that I felt a pull towards, my passion, the thing that I knew was really could really move the needle in my life, the thing that I looked at other people doing and they were having success and they were doing the things that I wanted to do, but I continued to let excuses, I let things get in my way. I wasn't taking action toward what I wanted to do. And so the whole time I was in winter. I was uncertain. It was a time of inaction. I wasn't taking action.
Yeah, you get the idea. That was a very life-changing video for me. No time. The time to start is now. This is the exact video that made me pull the plug and invest in my kit. Forever is an awesome channel. Yep, 100%. No time like the present. Did any of you do door-to-door canvassing when starting up? No, I've posted a few leaflets and stuff, but I didn't enjoy it. Didn't like it. David, the Discord is for paid members of the channel, so you can become a member if you click on the little join button down below, and then you'll have access to the Discord. The Panther 1700 watt to the 3100, the 3000 plus, are the differences huge? Well, yeah, you're going from a 1700 watt motor to 1200 watt motors, so the difference is pretty huge. But the difference is also the size of the machine as well. The 3600 is much more bulky, much wider, much taller, much heavier, and so I think the Panther is perfect for all domestic jobs. I think that's the one to go for. When you start getting commercial work, I think that's the point where you want to upgrade, personally, for me. Unless you're doing like constant 3-story jobs where you've got to go quite high with the poles and stuff, then you might want to consider a slightly bigger vacuum, but the Panther's so versatile. LC exterior, welcome. I mean, you've missed pretty much we're getting towards the end right now. You can double that in £2,000. You can double that £2,000 quicker if you invest in yourself and get started now. Then next year you will have £4,000 worth of kit making you money already. Yeah, I mean, if you drop £2,000 on, you know, a starter kit right now, and you start advertising right now, and you start doing work for friends and family, you've got the rest of summer, and potentially within 5 or 6 jobs, if you price them right, that £2,000 will have, you know, you'll have earned that £2,000 back very quickly. You just got to be careful of what you're spending your money on. Make sure it's the right time of year to spend money on pressure washing equipment. If you're approaching winter, you might want to look at gutter cleaning equipment or roof cleaning equipment if you think you want to take something like roof cleaning on, which I wouldn't recommend for a new business. I wouldn't go straight into roof cleaning. It's very difficult work. Gutter cleaning, definitely. For me, it's pressure washing summer, gutter cleaning winter. And it's very, very seasonal, so just prepare for that. I'm thinking about it. I'm struggling to get jobs. Is the Discord membership tax deductible? Can my business pay it as opposed to me personally? I would have thought so. You're using it for research purposes, aren't you? Yeah, I can. If you can make a case for it, my accountant said to me, Connor, he's an accountant actually, it's a subscription for business purposes, but you ain't going to see much difference in your tax bill for a £5 a month. Yeah, true. Yeah, anything you do and you can justify it, if you can reasonably justify it to say this is for my business, then you can stick it on your self-assessment. That video is so right. I need to stop making excuses and just go for it. I already know I'll just be starting it off as a weekend job alongside my current job. So you've got nothing to lose. If it's something you're going to be doing on the weekend anyway, what have you got to lose other than time, a little bit of time here and there? If you wait until this time next year, you've lost a year. Do you know what I mean? I'd be late to my own funeral. Right, guys, we've been going for 3 hours and almost 40 minutes now, so I'm going to leave you. Thank you all for being here. I really appreciate your time. I hope these are still useful for people, these live streams, because I do look forward to them every week. I do want to do more, like throughout the week. I do find myself thinking I'd really like to start up the live stream, but to make sure I've got enough things to talk about, I like to save it for a Monday. Little announcement for the evening. I've just employed my first employee. So Jakey, who you might have seen in the videos, I've just offered him a position and he's handed his notice into work today. So he's going to be coming and working with me full time, which is very exciting. I booked in my first block paving recolor. So a tinted sealer for block paving from Smart Seal. I've discussed it with the customer. They understand that it's my first job, but they asked if it's something I can offer, and I said I know a product that will do it, but I've never done it before. So it's this Block Magic by Smart Seal. They do a black, grey, light grey, red, and a tan. But you can literally turn red bricks to grey bricks. And it's proper sealer, it's not just paint. It actually absorbs into the blocks. Can I make the video bigger?
Smart.
Shh. So yeah, this could be stunning before and after pictures. So I'm really looking forward to this job. I've priced it well. I've made sure, you know, even though it's my first attempt, I know it's going to work. The key with sealing is to make sure the customer's paying for the materials. David, thank you so much. You found the button. Thank you, mate. Welcome to the club. Enjoy the Discord. The key with sealing is making sure that the customer's paying for the materials, because if you end up trying to cut them a deal and make it cheaper, it just means you end up paying for all the equipment and the materials. And that's not the way to do it. Look at this. Look at that. And then you can do the borders in a different colour. This could be, I'm not going to say the words game changer. It could be a game, what do we say? A game alterer. A game enhancer. Imagine the before and after pictures. It won't flake or peel. That's the key. That's the main bit. I can't see that lasting long. Well, it's a sealer, it's not a paint. 5 years. And then you can just go in and wash it again and top it up. But having the versatility to offer recolouring on bricks, on block paving. Normally, if your driveway's faded or weathered, block paving, there's not really anything you can do. God, he's putting that sealer down quick. Did you see that? That's a clear sealer he's putting over the top to lock the sand in place. Look how much pressure he's using there. I wonder what sprayer he's using. Seems to be a lot of sealer coming out all at once. There you go. So I'm looking forward to that one. Definitely. Look at that. You could paint words on people's drives. I cleaned a drive last year. He had different coloured blocks set into the drive that spelt the words AVFC, Aston Villa Football Club. How sad is that? It's not sad, each to their own, but I just thought it was a bit potentially reducing the value of your house just by doing that one thing. Using the sealer like he gives zeros. Finish looks great. He looks like he's pressure washing the sealer on. Yeah, I thought that. He's extra in the sealer, yeah. Guys, I'm going to leave you to it. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful evening. Have a really good week. I hope you get inundated with quotes like I've been. Spread the love. Thanks for watching. See you in a bit. Now these videos take a lot of time and effort to film the stream, and edit on top of trying to run a successful pressure washing business. Like the stream. If the information in my video is useful, then I'd like for you to consider becoming a paid member of the channel. Circle members and above will get access to my private Discord for members only, where you can pretty much get a hold of me 24 hours a day for inspiration, technical help, marketing advice, or just a general chat. I post pictures and videos that you won't see on any of my other socials. You'll be the first to hear about giveaways, special offers and announcements, and it's just generally a nice place full of like-minded people who are all heading towards similar goals. We've got various different experience levels. We've got a few professionals in the chat as well. If you want to push your business, in my opinion, this is the place to be. We also have two other membership tiers. One is just to show a bit of support for the channel, and the other one is for boosted members, which will not only give you access to the private Discord, but also loads of high quality promotional images for you to start your business. I know what it's like when you're ready to get going, but you don't have any before and after pictures to put on your leaflets. At the moment, there's about 150 images that you can use for pretty much whatever you like, and my intention is to constantly update these over the next few years with all of my before and afters that have helped promote my business. Last thing before I let you go, new videos come out every Monday night at 5:30, and then I go live at 7:30 to chat to you guys and answer as many questions as possible. We do live quotes for real customers and just generally keep up to date with everything going on in the pressure washing world. Thanks for watching, back to the video.